Welcome to the lounge, where we challenge accountability. I'm Urban, and we don't do surface talk here. We use emotional intelligence. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Every beat a question, every bar a lesson. I turn the mic to a mirror, life's a session. Urban in the mix, soul and intellect blend. We ain't just talk truth, we set trends from Dallas to the world. We break that ceiling, no clout, just facts, that's the real feeling. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Trap drums drop, but the message don't fade. Every thought sparks like a hand grenade. Faith, pain, love, and drive all collide, that's how minds revive. All collide, that's how minds revive. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Mind open wide like a city skyline. Every topic shaped by design. The urban lounge where ideas ignite. Late night thoughts under podcast lights. Every episode of thought design. The urban lounge where iron sharp iron. We build from the ground like truth rewiring. Can't fake what's felt when the mic's ignited. If you listening now, you already invited. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Warning, the following image and or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Real quick community guidelines before we start the show. Now I want y'all to know that this is a space for respectable, thought-provoking conversations. We encourage intelligent discussions, different viewpoints, and respectable debates. Disagree if you want, but do it with substance and respect. Self-promotion is not allowed. This is not your billboard. Links, spam, and promotions in the comments or in live chat will be blocked immediately. Distasteful trolling, insults, or bad faith behavior will not be entertained. You will be blocked and banned. No warnings, no back and forth. Finally, y'all will notice that the subscriber mode is on. It is only for 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. That way we can protect the integrity of the show and also protect the integrity of people who actually want to comment in the comment section faithfully, all right? We're here to think, challenge ideas, and grow, and not derail the conversation. If you're here in good faith, then I welcome you. Y'all enjoy the show. Salute everybody, salute. Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Urban Lounge Podcast, y'all. I'm Urban. Appreciate y'all, man. I hope y'all having a real good Friday evening. I hope it was productive. Hope you was able to get some things taken care of that you were able to get taken care of. And last but not least, I hope that you were able to get some rest in as well too. So, with all that being said, welcome to the lounge. Tonight we got one great episode tonight. I know y'all been paying attention to my other live stream that I got scheduled for tomorrow now. where I keep on pushing the show back on. I keep doing it intentionally because I know on that particular episode that I'm going to do, it's a lot of information that I want to share with y'all about the actual dating dynamics that I believe that we need to be aware of as men, okay? So I am going to do that episode. I'm just pushing it back intentionally. Okay. All right. So trust it to the game. All right. But tonight episode, we're going to do a reaction episode. All right. The reason why we're going to do this reaction episode, because I've seen several content creators such as the Angry Man, and I've seen MTR react to this, and I've seen a couple of other content creators as well to react to this as well too. I believe Chesler reacted to this and other content creators. What I'm talking about tonight, there is a phenomenal woman content creator out there. Her name is Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Okay. Now, those of y'all who are not familiar with Maggie the Substitute Teacher content, she teaches a lot about femininity on her channel. Phenomenal content creator. Very wonderful woman indeed. Very humble. One of her episodes that I remember watching, right, and I never forget this episode because this episode was one of my favorite episodes that she ever did. But one of my favorite episodes that Maggie, the Substitute Teacher, did was when she had there's another content creator one. Her name is Simone, like that, Chesley Simone, something like that. I forgot her name, but she's a Jamaican content creator, a younger lady. She's a Jamaican content creator. She's in Jamaica right now. She used to be over here in Texas, but they both did a episode together where she was teaching her how to cook. Okay. When she was teaching her how to cook, that episode was great to me because we don't see a lot of that in the modern time these days, where you're literally having a more seasoned woman teaching a younger woman about proper kitchen etiquette. Teaching a younger woman that it is okay to not only know how to cook, but it's practically okay to know how to cook for your man. One of the most phenomenal things that she had told her, right? She had told her that when she cooked for her husband, she's not cooking for her husband just so, just so she could feed him. But in reality, she was cooking out of love. Because Maggie understood that when a woman cooks for a man, it's not because that man is hungry. It's not because the man making it's an expectation for a woman to cook for him. But she has stated that she was cooking out of love, and she broke it down where she was explaining that when you cook for a man out of love, that man will receive it way differently. Which that is true. That is true. See, ladies, if you're tuning in watching right now, I'm going to share this truth with you. This truth is that the reason why men actually enjoys when a woman cooks for them is simply because that is one of our acts of love that we appreciate a whole lot. We really do. It's something about a woman spending hours into the kitchen preparing a wonderful meal. Preparing the wonderful meal for her man. It's something about that. It's something about that where actually good men were appreciated a whole lot. See, ladies, whenever we say that we want you to be in the kitchen cooking and stuff, right, I want y'all to understand this clearly, is that at the end of the day, a lot of men, we know how to cook. We could cook on our own, and we'll be practically fine with it. If we can't cook, then we'll do other things to pretty much sustain ourselves. But the whole point of the matter is that we see cooking as a form of intimacy. Now, we can also agree that another form of intimacy with men is the sexual act when, you're having sex with each other. But ladies, I guarantee that when you're in the kitchen cooking for a man, I guarantee that right there is even greater than making love. That is the reason why men cherish that a lot. Cherish a woman who could go into the kitchen and just cook up a meal. Because we understand that it takes a lot of time, a lot of prep work, a lot of effort. But unfortunately, we're living in modern times where modern women, they look at cooking and they think that it's a chore. They think that it's slave work. But I'm going to let you know right now that that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
We never don't look at it as being a chore or slave work or a requirement. But that is something I just want to throw out there just so y'all can understand it clearly. But let's get into the main episode for tonight, all right? So Maggie the Substitute Teacher, she went on to a podcast in good faith, right? And so when she went on this particular podcast is called the Digital Social Hour, right? She went on to the Digital Social Hour podcast in good faith to pretty much have a discussion or to debate about religion and about different other worldview topics, all right? So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we're going to react to this. I'm definitely going to give you my perspective about this episode, all right? Especially since I talk about religious stuff, since I do have a background in religion studies and stuff, all right? So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this particular episode, all right? So once again, the whole theme of the episode was that originally they was debating about that's going to start debating off talking about we live in a prison. And then from there, it started going into talking about religion. But instead of this thing consistent there, some weird stuff happened. All right. So without further ado, if y'all here for this particular episode, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. All right. What's good? Hey, Realize, what's up with it, brother? What's good with you, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate everybody else tuning in to this particular episode. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and react to this episode. Let's hear the conversation that Maggie, the substitute teacher, is going to have with this, as I call her, a feminist woman. All right. So let's listen up to this.
First ladies on the show on the 1 on 10 series.
Oh, really?
Thank you
Okay.
for coming, being brave.
Awesome.
You wanted to do the first prompt?
I did.
Okay. The prison planet one?
I did.
Are you cool with that?
Oh, yeah. I'll do
Okay.
it all. And then I wanted to talk about Jesus being the serpent in the Garden of Genesis.
Yeah, bring that up.
Okay.
Go ahead and start it off.
So the first prompt is that Earth is a prison planet. And
Yeah,
I disagree
and you disagree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you disagree with that?
Well, I've never been to prison, but...
Yeah. Could you speak louder too?
Yes, absolutely. So I've never been to prison.
Now, real quick, I got on headphones, okay? Matter of fact, those of y'all who don't know, I literally have a whole professional setup equipment over here at the lounge, so I can hear everything clearly in my headphones. So right off the back, I believe that this young man was trolling Maggie. He was trolling Maggie by asking her to speak up. Now, this is the reason why I say this. The reason why I say this is because I also noticed that he has the same microphone equipment as I do. The moment when he asked Maggie to speak up, I believe that he was literally trolling her because he felt that Maggie was being soft-spoken. So by him saying that, I believe that he was being disingenuous right off the bat, because he could simply turn the mic up. That's all he had to do. He could simply turn the mic up where she could be heard clearly, or turn the gain up a little bit, because he had the equipment to do that. But that doesn't mean that is what I'm paying attention to. But let's go ahead. Line on so with it, bro.
But as I understand, you must be sentenced for a crime. So I would want to know, if this is a prison planet, what is the crime that we're sent here?
Well, like Anka explained it, it's not always that you're having a crime, but you do know that the Bible, because you're a Christian, right?
I am.
The Bible tells you that you're born in sin.
We are.
So to ask me what is the sin, you should already know. But I don't subscribe to that. Just if we're going to stick in the Bible says that you already are a sinner when you're born.
Yes, that's why we need
And the Bible tells you that. So you answer that question. What is your original sin?
Well, the original sin came from Adam, when Adam and Eve disobeyed God.
To be honest, I'm glad you brought that up, because Adam and Eve never disobeyed God.
I understand that's what you think.
They
But
disobeyed Elohim. That was not God. That was a council of gods
Wait a minute, what?
or spirits.
And that's fair, and that's fine. You can call him whatever you want to call him.
So
but
you agreed that wasn't God?
I don't agree. What I'm saying.
So can you prove that wasn't God? Because I can't.
I can prove that. I could prove that because I know what she's talking about. So what she's trying to articulate is this. She's trying to articulate the whole concept about Elohim. Now, part of what she's saying is indeed true. When you use Elohim, it can be used in a plural sense, meaning multiple gods, okay, based on the Hebrew. But however, in that particular passage in Genesis, it is not talking about plural gods. It is talking about the one God, Yahweh Yah. That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about multiple gods in that situation. So part of it, she was saying it was partially true, but the other part of it, she was saying some bullshit. And she was saying it, and I was looking at her body language while she was saying it. I honestly believe that she knew what she was saying was stupid. She knew what she was saying didn't go with that particular passage of scripture. Okay? I honestly believe that she was banking on Maggie the Substitute Teacher to not know, so she could have a reason to debate her on this particular topic. So once again, to clear it up, yes, Elohim can be used in a plural sense, but in this particular passage of scripture, it is not being used in a plural sense. It's used in a singular sense, talking about Elohim, Yahweh Ha, which is God, the Most High God. Okay? But let's continue, because I want to hear her one point about this prison planet thing as well, too.
I can't prove it, and neither can you.
Oh, yes, I can actually. In the Hebrew, Elohim is plural for gods. That means there's more than one. That
partially true, but in this particular passage of scripture, no, it's not. It's talking about one single God.
That leans toward my position that it is a council, not just one. So I prove it that way. And I can also prove that God isn't supposed to lie, but the Elohim did lie in Genesis 3. Actually, in the Genesis, 3, they said, don't eat the fruit. And if you eat it, you'll die.
Right.
No, he said, don't eat from the fruit. And if you eat from the fruit, then you're going to die. It's not a day to it. And the second part, based on biblical passages and scriptures, they did die. In the book of Hebrews, the book of Hebrews prove what happened in the garden. When the book of Hebrews was explaining about Jesus being the ultimate sacrificial lamb and everything, it explains everything about what happened in the garden. They, in fact, did die. Okay? Their death was a slow, natural death. Because before the sin in the garden, they had the ability to live infinitely. But since they had sinned and transgressed against the Most High God, their lifespan had got shortened. Now, according to scriptures, I believe Adam and Eve lived over 900 years. Even in that sense, that is an incredible life to live. But as sin had increased and greatened in the world, our lifespan had got shortened more and more and more. And now, once again, our lifespan, it didn't get shortened because of the original sin. I want to make that clear to you as well, too. Our lifespan got shortened way after the original sin. A matter of fact, our life started becoming shortened when the angels came down and started procreating with human beings. And that's also in Genesis. Hence, that's the reason why God had talked to Noah and he created the ark to flood the whole entire planet. So after that whole event with the flood, that's when our lifespan has shortened greatly to roughly about 70 years. But let's continue. Shout out to everybody who's in the building, who's tuned into this stream. Appreciate you, Eric. What's up with it? Salute as well, too.
Adam and Eve didn't die when they ate it. So God can't lie. So
They
that couldn't
didn't
have been
die
God.
immediately, but they did die eventually.
So do you know in the scripture that it actually says, in the day you eat it, in the moment you eat it? Do I need that too?
No, I think your
it's
voice is loud enough.
My voice, I'm an orator. So loud, you could use that. But anyway, the Bible says, when you eat it, in the moment you eat it, that's the scripture, you will die. Not later. It doesn't say, Christians have been taught that. So you can understand and cope with the lie that's been told to you, that the serpent is evil. So it says you'll die immediately. And at the end of that chapter, the Elohim turn to each other. You know what they say?
No.
Oh, wow, they ate it. Now they're going to be like us. Wait, I thought you said they were going to die. Now they're going to be like you gods. So really, you just told them you didn't want them to eat it because you didn't want them to be gods.
Once again, she is misinterpreting what the Hebrew scripture is saying. When it got to that verse of scripture, what she's trying to reference, right? The scripture is saying this. It's saying that now, since they had eaten of the tree and no knowledge of good and evil, they are going to try to become like us, like gods. When he was saying that, he was talking about not only him, but he was also referencing the angels or the other celestial beings out there that existed. And so the whole concept why God had created humans is simply because he wanted humans to be different from the angels that he created. Now, if y'all believe in what's the word I look for? If y'all believe in multiverse theory, right? Okay. I could propose to y'all this. I could propose to y'all that in the same moment of time, when God created Adam and created Eve and all these different things that's happening on the earth of it, right? I would propose to y'all that in the same moment, this is what's happening in the heavenly realms. Meaning that at the same time all this situation is happening, is existing at the same time, right? You have what is happening in the heavenly realms, a revolt. Meaning that the angel, Lucifer, is gathering the angels to revolt against the Most High God. And once again, all of this is in scripture. So while these things is happening simultaneously, right? This is the reason why God said in Genesis, what she's talking about, that he do not want men to be like them. Not talking about like him or them as those that it's more than one God. That is not what he's talking about. He's talking about them, talking about himself and other celestial beings that exist, because he wanted humans to be normal. That's the whole reason why he created humans to be that way. So that's what he's talking about. But let's continue.
Well, I believe that God created us in his image, and he said when he created male and female, it was to reflect him. We can debate this all day. I don't think you can prove it, nor can I prove it, because neither of us were there, and that's why it's called...
Well, wait a minute. I thought you
finished.
believed in the Bible.
I do. May I finish?
Sure.
Okay. That's why it's called faith. And I had the same questions when I was coming up. If we had all of the answers, we wouldn't need to believe. All of us choose what our faith is. I do believe in the Bible. I do have questions about the Bible. I respect that there were faiths before Jesus came, but for me and for my house and for what works for me, I believe to follow Christ. Yes, there are discrepancies. Yes, there are things that are painful to read, especially in the Old Testament, but it doesn't mean that for me, it's not true.
Okay, well, you went into a lot of your beliefs,
but that's what faith is.
Yeah, I don't want to go into faith. I want to talk about the Bible.
I'm not a Bible scholar.
Okay, then you agree that the Elohim were not God.
I never said that.
Okay,
I said I believe in the God of the Bible. I understand that you have facts that you really want to prove, but we could do this all day and all.
Now, once again, she's not giving facts at all, period. She's doing the same thing that Maggie is doing, which is giving anecdotal. Now, I also want to make this clear, too, because I be hearing this in, different spaces and stuff, right? Especially in debates where some people will use a red herring. They'll sit up here and say that, well, you can't use anecdotals in a debate. But I beg to differ. Anecdotals is what creates peer reviews. Anecdotals is what creates surveys and different other things as well too. So anecdotals is just as important as the actual data that be presented out there. But in this particular case, both of them are using anecdotal since we're talking about the Bible, which is nothing wrong with that. Now, once again, I believe that this conversation is becoming disingenuous, because I honestly believe that Maggie, when she came there, she really, really, really didn't want to debate on this particular biblical thing, because she knew she didn't have a whole lot of knowledge behind it. But when it's talking about faith-based, when it's talking about femininity, I believe that that's where she wanted to live at. But this woman is not trying to allow her to live in that space simply because she wants to win, simply because she wants to be right, which in reality, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Real quick, since y'all want tuning in and watching this, right? Since they kind of stirred away from this, let me ask y'all a question. The whole beginning of this debate started with the prison planet theory, okay? Now, let me explain the prison planet theory, and then I'm going to ask you the question behind it, all right? So the whole prison planet theory is this. There's a theory to where many people, including several scholars, they believe that we live in a prison system. Okay? And I'm not talking about it being systematic, such as racism, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about in that perspective. I'm talking about overall as us as human. The reason why we was created is because we automatically is living in a prison system, which is called a prison planet. So in other words, you are procreated, right? You're created. You're born here on this prison rock. You have to serve your time here on this prison rock. Then once when your time is over, if you believe in afterlife, right? Once when you serve your time afterlife, then your spirit or soul will enter into a more celestial heavenly realms where now you don't have to work in this prison no more, but it's contingent on the type of work that you do here on this earth. That's pretty much what the prison planet theory is. So here's my question. Do y'all believe that you live your whole entire life in a prison? In a prison where you can't see, you can't touch, you can't smell. You got to serve your time in this particular prison. What do y'all think? Now, Maggie, she followed up by answering the question in her own personal anecdotal way. And when she answered this question, it did go into biblical context, right? So what Maggie was saying was this, is that, hey, according to the original sin, right, in a technical sense, yeah, you can say that we're in a prison planet, but however, due to scripture where it say that Jesus Christ had came into this world, he became an adult, he had preached and teach the gospel to people so they can be saved from this prison planet. Then right afterwards, right, Christ ended up giving his life up, becoming a sacrificial lamb, giving his life up, and then resurrected. So according to scripture, according to the sacrifice that Jesus Christ did, that's why the Apostle Paul says that, yes, we may be a slave to our flesh. We also be a slave to sin, but we are alive through Christ. So according to the scripture, according to Apostle Paul, in reality, we're no longer a prison on this planet. So what do y'all think about that? Now, once again, I'm just giving y'all straight biblical scripture behind it. What do y'all think about that? Now, me personally, I believe that we do live on a prison planet, that we are serving a certain term. I also believe that this certain term is unfair because of what happened to our ancestors. Since we're alive and born right now, we're serving the term where we didn't even have nothing to do with it. It just happened that way. And guess what? The generations and generations and generations still have to serve this term. So part of us, we're living in a prison planet. Also, according to scripture, when we go back to sin, yes, we all sin and fall short of the glory of God. But however, since Jesus Christ had petitioned for us, right? Since he had petitioned for us, since he had pleaded for us, right? Since he literally sacrificed himself and gave his life up as a ransom for us, right? We're no longer part of that particular prison, that particular covenant. We're now considered as being redeemed, saved, set free. But here's one more part. We're going to continue with this video because once again, I want y'all to get clarity about what they're talking about. All right, so you understand where they're coming from. One other thing too is that I also believe that within this prison thing, this prison system, right? I also believe that when you become truly saved and truly redeemed and all these different things, right? I believe that it's not something that is natural where you become free. I believe that true salvation is a spiritual awakening. It's a spiritual manifestation. It's a spiritual realization. Once when you realize this, once when you be consciously aware of the environment that you're living in, you now have a choice. You have a choice to how the way you want to live your life. You can live your life still thinking in this corner way, as the Apostle Paul called it, having a corner mind. You could continue to live this particular way, right? Or you have a choice to free your mind and free yourself and free your spirit and live a different life, where you're not worrying about none of this. Me personally, that's how I personally choose to live my particular life, in freedom. I understand that, hey, I sin, I fuck up, your boy fucks up. I do things it is what it is. But I also understand, since I'm consciously aware of the things that I do now, I have a choice. I have free will now. I have a choice to either dwell in it as a prisoner or live freely. Live my life freely to the fullest ability possible. That's something for y'all to think about. Once again, shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. And I see y'all in the chat on Morris. What's up with it, man? Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the building who's watching the stream right now. We are reacting to Maggie the Substitute Teacher. She is doing a she's doing a debate with this feminist woman. All right, and so far they're talking about us living in the prison planet, and also they're talking about the first original sin as well too. And I'm giving y'all, biblical perspective about that. What is really meant to be said. This lady in the cowboy hat, she's trying to convince Maggie that Elohim means there was multiple gods in the garden. But that's not true at all, gentlemen. That is not true. That's not biblically true. It's not true. So shout out to you in the building. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up to support this channel. All right. Real quick, let me go ahead and get into some of these questions. All right. Because I've seen a couple of questions in the chat that I want to address it real quick. And we're going to continue to react to this. All right. Once again, shout out to Maggie the Substitute Teacher as well too. One thing I did notice when I was watching this video, I noticed that Maggie had held her frame. She did. Another thing that I know just about, watching Maggie the Substitute Teacher content, right, and seeing her on other panels and other podcasts and stuff, right, Maggie, she had this feminine aura about her, where yes, she could be considered as soft or even soft-spoken, which technically I don't believe she's soft-spoken. She knows how to articulate herself very well. But the thing about it is that she's not aggressive. She's not argumentative. She do her very best to give people respect, even when they don't deserve it. Gentlemen and ladies, if you're watching, do y'all know that is a very, very, very difficult thing to master? That is a very, very difficult thing for you to master, to give people respect, even when they don't deserve it, even when they be sitting up here trying to push your buttons. So shout out to her for mastering that for real and showing us that it's possible. But real quick, let's get into the chat real quick, because I've not seen a couple of questions on that. People say, I believe Real I said a couple of questions too. Let me get to that question. Oh, here it is. Do you think they were in a higher spirit form and came down in density after they ate whatever was consumed? Now, the answer to that question, brother, is no, I don't believe that they was in spirit form. Okay. The reason why I don't believe that there was in spirit form is because according to scripture, after when God, first of all, created the Adam, right? He created Adam from the ground. So by him creating him from the ground and molding him into what he need to be, gave him skin and meat and all this different other thing, blood and stuff, right? That means that he was in a physical form. Here's another thing too, where I don't believe that at all, brother. When God had gave Adam the charge to take over the garden and stuff, to be a titular of the garden, right? To be a titular of the garden means that you have to do physical work. If you was in spirit form, it'd be in no way possible for you to do physical type of work in a spiritual form. You would need to have a physical manifestation of a fleshly material form in order for you to perform the duties of the garden. Let alone for Adam to go around naming the animals, naming the plants, naming the trees, and different things like that. He had to be in this physical, fleshly, meaty form. Last thing, when God had put Adam to sleep, what did God do to Adam? The scriptures say that he had took one of Adam's rib. Now, according to Hebrew, the term rib is not the actual rib cage that we have in us, right? But the actual term rib is talking about his DNA. So the Most High God had took Adam's DNA out of him and placed it into the woman. And from his DNA, that DNA ended up constructing the woman. Then right after that, guess what Adam said? Right after when the woman was created, guess what he said? He said, bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman because of what? She came out of my womb. So that's the reason why, me personally, that I don't believe that they was in a spiritual form, that when he created them, they was already in a fleshly form. I hope that clears that up, brother. Let's see. I think we got a couple more questions. No, that's more sentence. I totally agree with you, Urban. Self-actualization is the key to victory. Like the R&B group In Vogue said it best. Free your mind and the rest shall follow. Shout out to you for that comment as well, too. Now, those of y'all who want to participate in the comment tonight, all you got to do is sub up to the channel, right? Sub up to the channel and wait for at least 5 minutes. Then after you wait for 5 minutes, you're free to comment on this channel, all right? So appreciate y'all. Once again. Make sure you hit thumbs up to support this stream. Let's go ahead and react to more of this debate with Maggie, the substitute teacher, in this Feminist, all right?
For me, the life that we are given, the time that we are here on this earth is to make it better, to use the gifts and talents that we were given. Whatever you believe is to leave this place better than you found it. For me.
See, also Maggie just confirmed what I was telling y'all earlier about the prison planet theory, and when I was telling y'all that at the end of the day that we should live our life to the fullest. But the only way you're going to do that is that you have to have realization. Once when you have realization, that's when you're going to be awakening to the truth. And then you have a choice.
I promote marriage and family, and I think that's what's a priority. I believe God told us to go forth and multiply and to take dominion of the earth, and to use the resources that he's given us to make it better. So you can spend your life debating biblical facts, and that's totally fine. I choose to do otherwise.
Okay, well, I'm here to actually debate and tell the truth. So let me get back to the prison planet thing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You, on one hand, say you don't think it's a prison planet, right? Because you said you need a sentence to get into prison.
As I understand it, when you go to prison, you are convicted of a crime and you are sending of your time.
Original sin.
Yes, the original sin. But when God first created the earth and he created Adam and Eve and humans, he said it was beautiful and he was pleased with his creation. After our choice of sin, then we now have the sin and the consequences that come from that. But we were not born with sin.
So you don't agree with the Bible?
I do agree with the Bible. Yes, I have questions about certain things, but I don't believe that I don't believe the earth is a prison. I believe that the life that we have and the earth is what you make of it. You can choose to live a miserable life. You can be in prison in your mind. I choose to look at the blessings that we have, the bountiful goodness that we have, the forgiveness that we have, the grace that we have, the beauty all around us. I really think it's up to you to decide, and that's what I choose.
Do you think atheists don't look at the beauty and look at that?
No, absolutely. As far as I know, and I'm not
So it's not exclusive to Christians?
Absolutely not. And I said that. I know that there are several faiths that came before Jesus was here, and I respect everybody else's faith.
Now, let me clear this thing up, too, because I believe what she said was disingenuous. Just because you're an atheist, that doesn't mean that you don't believe in religion or anything like that, because I know plenty of atheists, they study religion, they believe in religion, but the only thing that separates them and from other faith-based religion is that they don't believe in a God. They believe that God doesn't exist, period. But however, for us, the religious teachings and different things like that, yeah, they look at it and they could confirm that throughout, normally the big three, which is Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, right? They could confirm that these three things are interchangeable. And then when you go into deeper religion studies, when you study in Hinduism and different things like that, right, it still is connected to the big three. But the story that's been told in different ways from different accounts. So atheists, they do believe in, forms of religion, but they just don't believe that ultimately that it's a God or gods.
As I understand it, and I'm not a religious scholar, but atheists don't believe in the God of the Bible. But you can look at the majesty all around you. You can look at the ocean. You can look at the mountains. You can look at a beautiful flower, colors, and you can appreciate that beauty.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, this isn't really, if you don't debate and you're telling me about all these beautiful things, maybe you're not the person I should be talking to, because I want to speak to someone who actually would be able to dispute the information that I'm presenting. You're not really just.
Oh man, you could have got in contact with me, the Urban Lounge podcast. I had debated you. I had proved you wrong about everything you were saying about the prison planet theory and about your theory about Elohim being plural gods in Genesis. I had debunk all that for you real quick and let you know that you was not right and correct in that aspect. Most definitely.
Disputing anything that I'm saying.
I'm not trying to convince you. That's why it's faith.
That's great.
It's a choice.
I love you for that. I would like to speak to someone who wants to dispute the facts that I'm bringing out. If there's anybody else who could
do you want to make a final statement?
Yeah, my final statement is that I believe in the God of the Bible. I am a Christian. It is a choice. It is faith. We don't have all the answers, but I believe in promoting marriage and family, and that's why I'm here. And I believe that's what we're supposed to do.
That's awesome. Is there any Christian here that believes that Jesus is not the serpent in the garden of Genesis 3? Well,
wait a minute. That Jesus was the serpent in the garden? What the hell?
That's bullshit.
So she honestly believed that it was Jesus the one who convinced Eve to take upon the fruit and transgress against the Most High? You know, throughout my studies of studying religion, right, I done heard different theories about this, right? One of the biggest theories that are out there, right, and I would encourage y'all to look this up for real. There's a theory out there called the Serpentine Doctrine, okay? So the Serpentine Doctrine is this. The Serpentine Doctrine is a theory that involves Eve, Adam, and Lilith, okay? So according to the Serpentine Doctrine, the serpent, they're saying that it was actually Lilith, the one who convinced Eve to take upon the fruit and eat upon the fruit and cause Eve and Adam to sin. But they also say in this doctrine that it wasn't actually a physical fruit. The fruit that they're talking about in this doctrine is talking about Eve having sex with Lilith. Lilith has seduced Eve into having sex with her, and her fruit is her body, is her coochie and all this stuff there, right? And so according to the serpentine doctrine, this is when lesbianism and all this other stuff, you know, having three ways and different things like that, poly relationships and all this stuff there, that's where it started at, according to the serpentine doctrine. So if you're not familiar with that story, I suggest you go and research that, all right? But I've never heard this story where she's talking about that she believed that it was actually Jesus who was the serpent in the garden in Genesis chapter 3.
You're not debating me though. You're being super sweet and like telling me about your feelings about babies and puppies. I want to talk to someone about who will say, yeah, Jesus, because do you know Jesus? I wanted to talk about Jesus being the serpent in the garden.
We can have the conversation,
So
but
did Christ lie at all, ever?
no, the word says that Christ was sinless, and that is why he took on our sins. If you believe, I understand that you don't.
I do believe, actually I do. I
Okay.
believe that Jesus is the serpent in the garden. I believe that Jesus is the historicity of Christ. But I know that there are lies being told to you.
Okay, so she wants to debate, right? But she's not stating her position. All she doing is just making an assumption. She just simply saying, yeah, I believe Jesus is the serpent of the garden. Okay, why do you believe that? What led you to believe in this assumption? She'll need to articulate that so she can build her case, build her argument on it so it could be a good debate. But let's say she's going to do that.
So you can believe otherwise. Why would a serpent be evil? How can a serpent even talk?
I believe in the polarity. For good, there's evil. For up, there's down. For bad, there's good. All right. I don't believe that Jesus is the serpent. The serpent is Satan. Maybe it's a representation. Maybe it's not Satan incarnate, but it is a representation of evil to tempt the woman who then disobeyed God. I do believe that that actually happened.
Let me explain. Let
I'm
me
sorry?
explain this to you.
Never disobey God. You can't disobey God. You divine energy, divine feminine.
I disagree.
You can't disobey anything. You are beautiful, right?
Well, thank you.
As a whole,
I'm not
right?
perfect.
You existed. Listen, this is how you popped up. It was God, right? And God was a masculine energy. Feminine existed. Energy just existed just because God was there. You was always there. You are the wisdom, right? You are the light of the world. Everything comes from you. But this one thing they did with history, they removed you. Right now, everybody that was taught, everybody watching this right now was taught by a woman, right? But in every book, it's a man that's doing the teaching and the telling. So you're defending man history. She's trying to tell you about yours, right? Because what's inside of you is something way more special than that story, right? They even track origins around. They do it the wrong way because they track it by men, but men have put you in prison. They have gave you their name because to track true origins, they got to track it from a woman. Because if I have sex with a woman, you don't know if that's my baby, but you know that baby came from that woman.
So I know where he's trying to articulate. He's doing a horrible job of articulating it, but I'm not explaining it to you, okay? So what he's talking about, he's talking about several stories and putting them all together into one, okay? The first story that he's trying to articulate, this deals with chemic theology, okay? In chemic theology, they believe that the woman is the goddess. They believe that the woman is the goddess of order. They believe that the woman is the goddess of everything that's created because she creates everything. She gives birth to everything as well too, right? So they believe in that, okay? They believe in that particular theory, in chemic theory. This is the reason why they use the concept in Kemet, right? They use the concept where you see in different statues of the woman, right, holding the scepter and stuff, right? And that scepter represents a feminine energy, right? But it also represents the femininity, you know what I'm saying, where the triangle turned down, where it's pretty much the woman clitoris and coochie and all the stuff there, right? They're talking about that, but also, at the same time, that particular doctrine is associated with Greek mythology as well, too. One in particular is talking about with Gaia. because Gaia is also considered as the goddess of light, or birth, and all these different things as well too. So they conflict both of these type of doctrines and put it together into one. Now, what's interesting about this is that they trying to use this particular doctrine to make it be feminine, or make it be like feminism. But that is wild as hell. So I want to listen to more what he's trying to articulate, what he's trying to say. All right.
Disagree with you.
Oh, also, Lana, I'm not worrying about the thumbs up. But those of y'all who are tuning in right now, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. All right.
The baby came from a woman. You have a baby right now.
Yes, I have two sons. That is true. But what if I choose to give my name to my husband?
But we know the baby. I'm telling you about how they track things. We know for a fact it came from you. Right now, they track back origins right now from the woman DNA, not the man.
I understand that. However, I am pro-masculine and feminine. I don't believe that women are better.
Of course,
I
because you woman. That's the connection of both, right? That's the connection of the masculine and the feminine.
Right.
That's the true essence of what we are.
Yes, but you said that women are divine and we're perfect.
I said what we are.
I disagree.
I didn't just.
Do you disagree that women are divine and perfect?
Yes, ma'am.
Why
I disagree.
Do you disagree that, but you think that Jesus is divine and perfect as a man?
I believe Jesus is divine and perfect because he was the Son of God, not because he was a man.
Do you know the woman was the first existence, the feminine was the first existence?
I disagree.
Okay, well, you're a woman.
Yes.
You disagree? Did Adam? Did it say in the Bible that Adam didn't have a belly button?
I don't think that's in the Bible.
Did it say it? Did it say it?
It did not say it.
No, it did not specifically say that Adam had a belly button in the Bible. So,
Okay, wait, if it didn't say that, then just how you know that Adam came from a woman, because everything came from a woman, got a belly button.
I disagree.
And listen, you agree with everything? Everybody right now that came here can show you one of these.
I understand that.
Everybody can show you one of these.
Please don't shout.
Right?
I understand, however.
Right? Listen, everybody got one of those. So listen. So if Adam had one of those,
Yes.
he came from woman. Everything came.
but hold on, real quick. This will make what he's saying very stupid. Okay, he just asked the question: did the Bible say that Adam had a belly button? It doesn't say that Adam has a belly button. Now, I understand where he's trying to come with this. So basically what he's saying is this. For every origin story, something has to happen, including with birth. Now, the whole connection is this, is that whenever you are birthed or born or whatever you want to call it and stuff, right, you are connected to the mother. You're connected to the woman. Hence, that's why I was telling y'all earlier about Gaia, okay? But you're connected to that mother through the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord represents a tree, represents a branch. Once when that umbilical cord is cut and severed and stuff, right, you no longer have a physical connection with Gaia or the woman or the womb man or the tree, right? But now you have what is known as a physical and spiritual connection with the mother. So every time when they sever the umbilical cord, every man should have an imprint on them. Every man and woman should have an imprint on them. Now, according to his theory, everyone should have an imprint on them except for two people that existed on this planet. What existed on this planet during that time. That is Adam and that is Eve. Because Adam was born through God. Eve was born through God as well too, but God had used Adam's DNA to create Eve, according to scripture. But let's continue.
From you, and
I
you are
disagree.
beautiful.
Well,
find
thank you.
one thing in his existence right now that we can see that didn't come out of woman. Anything in nature.
Men are here to.
No, name one thing in nature, in history, right now that didn't come out of female. Name one thing here now.
Creation, this table.
No. Name one thing here now that didn't come out of female.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question.
Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Name one baby born.
Oh, well, of course.
Hold up. Name one baby born that didn't come out of a woman.
Of course.
Okay, now name one animal
that was born.
Of
that didn't come
course.
out of woman.
The
Hold
females-
up. So woman created and brought everything into this existence.
With the man's seed. If I may.
No, women could do it without a man's seed. Listen,
I disagree.
look, Jesus was born without a man's seed. You
The
just say,
Holy
believe it.
Spirit.
Hold up. You say, hold up. The Holy Spirit was a man. The Holy Spirit was a man because it entered Mary.
Yes.
Right? Hold up. It entered Mary.
Yes.
Right? The entered means something. Right?
Yes.
I don't think you get it. Right? But you got to understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to take something away from you, but I'm telling you that you are everything. Nothing exists without you.
I think that's the problem that we have now is
Now, real quick. One thing that I do is this. I listen to people and I try to understand from both perspectives. Okay, just to try to be fair. So part of it, I can understand where he's coming from in a way, in a sense. Let me kind of clarify for y'all. Okay. Now once again, his whole ideology is coming from a Kemet theology. Okay. And so when you study chematology and different things like that, they believe in this doctrine. And so in a sense, right, what he's trying to do is that he's trying to articulate and tell her that, hey, your belief in a Christian system doesn't necessarily give you your full essence of who you are as a woman, preferably as a black woman. That's pretty much what he's trying to articulate. But he just doing it wrong, okay? But my pushback on this is that at the end of the day, why the hell does it matter if she believes in chematology or she believes in Christianity? Because one thing is true is this. Regardless of the belief system, it all circles back around to one continued truth. That one continued truth in this particular argument is that yes, she is blessed and she is highly favored as a woman, just like the man is blessed and highly favored as a man. Yes, you're living in a systematic system in this world. Absolutely, yes, that is true. Yes, once when you become consciously aware of this system, you have a choice how the way you want to live your life. That is also true. But the disagreement part that I don't agree with is when we try to push or try to indoctrinate people into a said belief system. That's why I draw the line. That's why I call bullshit on it. Because at the end of the day, I honestly believe that no matter what path that people choose to live their life here on this rock, on this planet, it's all going to come back to the original source at the end. Regardless of your worldview, regardless of your belief system, regardless of your upbringing, it's going to circle back around to the source. Now, one other thing too, and I'm going to continue the video. My part where I push back on him is that I believe what he's doing, he's been disingenuous. I believe that he's been disingenuous with her is because at the end of the day, they're trying to debate. They're trying to get clicks and views. They're trying to troll. They're trying to get clippable moments where people could see who they are and other people could invite them on their YouTube channel and they could get more money value out of this. To the point to where people will start paying them to come on their shows. But I'm going to let you know right now, just because I'm reacting to it, I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up here and pay y'all to pull up to the lounge. I'm just going to be real about it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, could I debate both of them at the same time with this bullshit Kemet doctrine that they're talking about? Absolutely, because I know the doctrine. I can want to debate the doctrine. I'll put it out this way. See, some of y'all don't believe that I'm very skilled at what I do when I'm talking about world religion studies, right? I am so skilled in it is that I could debate somebody and have them believing in chematology. I could debate somebody and have them believing in Christianity. I could debate somebody and have them believing that God don't exist at all, period. That's how good I am. I could debate you and have you believe that Scientology is the way, the truth, and the life. Because I know about Scientology as well too. But in all of my knowledge that I know, I choose not to do that. I choose not to push religion on people or try to indoctrinate people because I done been there and did it. And I know the end results behind it. But let's continue.
Telling women that they're everything. That's why we're
No, men ain't doing that. Men are telling women
I'm
everything
him.
based on attachments, based on they need them. I'm telling you so you can be free. I don't want to be attached to you.
I am
Matter of fact,
free.
when you leave her, I'm never gonna think of you again.
I understand that, and I won't remember you. I don't even know who you are.
No, you do know. You're gonna say you don't know who I am right now. I guarantee you, my voice gonna be.
And also, like, you see how she's snickering and laughing and thinking that, yeah, he's saying everything, right? And this dude got his nails painted and stuff, right? By the time we get through with this debate, I've been converting them to Christianity. They be straight crew. I'll be sitting up here having them praying at the end of this conversation. Real talk. I'll be having them one praying on Romans chapter 8 real quick. All right, y'all. So after it's all said and done, come on, let's go on and hold hands. Have everybody in the whole studio holding hands. Come on, y'all, stand up. Let's hold hands now. All right. Now, if you confess with your mouth and believe with your heart that Jesus saved you and set you free, then you are truly saved. Let's repeat this prayer with me one time, brothers and sisters. Have every last one of them, including them, repeating that prayer. And they be converted like I ain't nothing. That's how good I am. Dude would no longer be believing in chematology. She wouldn't be a feminist no more. That's how good I am. And yes, like, I am him, like, for real, for real.
Stuck with you forever, and I guarantee you invented my voice.
I didn't invent anything.
All right, close your eyes right now. Now I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say, I love you. Right
No,
now,
you don't. You don't even know me.
I'm gonna say I love you. Right.
Okay.
Now hear that same thing I just said in your mind.
Of course, I can repeat.
Can you hear it?
back.
Can you hear it
Yes,
in my
sir.
voice?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen. So, where did my voice come from? It came from you.
No,
Hold up.
You
You just said you heard it in your own head, and everything exists in your head. Everything out here come from your head.
No,
so everything
you're
exists
wrong.
in you.
You're wrong.
Okay, here's another thing. I don't mean to keep pausing it on y'all because I keep seeing a lot of discrepancies of what he's doing. One thing that if Maggie the Substitute Teacher is watching the stream or she catching the replay of the stream, this one thing that I got to let you know about this Maggie. The moment when he told you to close your eyes, right? I want you to understand this clearly since you're a Christian woman. I want you to understand this clearly. What he was trying to do is that he was trying to incite witchcraft on you. It's the same concept with praise and worship, right? As you being a Christian, right? When you praise and worship, what do your religious leader tell you to do? Your pastor or overseer, what did they tell you to do? When they enter into that praise and worship, what did they tell you to do? What's the very first thing they tell you to do? They tell you to close your eyes and listen. Words have power. Words are considered as spells. This is the reason why we have what is known as spelling. It's because you're inciting words to a person into their subconscious mind. So when he did that to you, that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to incite words or spell into you to try to hypnotize you, to indoctrinate into his particular worldview religion. Now, I'm not going to go super deep into this because we could talk about music and everything, how music can affect us through, frequency and different like that. That's another show for another time, but that's what he was doing. That's why also it says in the scripture that you should not let no man lay their hands on you suddenly. Because the whole concept behind that is that people could incite things on you. They could do witchcraft on you. They could incite spells and different things on you. Same exact way how you praise and worship. She, like earlier, she's mentioning about, the blessings of God and the different things like that and stuff. And guess how they get the one blessings of God? There's a one old saying that they say in church, right? They say when the praises go up, the blessings come down, right? Do you know the reason why they say that? The reason why they say that is because that's spell work. When you invoke or when you incite something, right, it is being released into the heavenly realms and then coming back down. So yeah, so my advice, and this for anybody who's watching this show and stuff, right? Do not allow a person to tell you to close your eyes and doing all this different thing, because that's what they're doing. They invoking a spell on you. Okay.
One thing I heard that didn't come from your head.
Okay.
Name one thing I heard that wasn't a thought.
Would you like me
Name
to
one thing that's not a thought.
Would you like me to answer?
Name one thing that's not a thought, and I'll be done.
Okay, this table.
Is it
this
one a thought? Is it
microphone,
one a thought?
It started as a thought.
Okay. So the thought is the cause of it all. Listen, and inside, let me tell you something else.
Okay.
Listen, inside a thought,
Yeah.
that's where you find perfection, right? Because right now,
I disagree. People think imperfect things all the
Think
time.
about a circle in your mind. Think of a square in your mind. Think of a triangle in your mind. Think of building a building in your mind. Anything you think in your mind, you can do it perfectly. Right?
Well,
Whoa. You can do it
He's also talking about the theory of causality, by the way. But let's continue.
perfectly. Perfection exists inside of you, right? And so what I'm trying to tell you is that the moment you put it out here, it becomes a problem. But inside of you, perfection exists, right? And I just want to say that. I just want to say that you're a beautiful woman, and that
well, thank you for the.
You should understand that.
I think that's interesting that you think I'm too sweet and you don't want to be here.
I'm used to people who are not as nice and sweet as you.
I think
So
that's
you
a problem.
Kind of threw me off.
That is a
that's
good thing.
tactic.
If I may just respond
Good
to
tactic.
what Mr. Unk said, as far as creation, I just want to say, because I believe in the Bible, and again, because it is a choice and because it is faith, God created the first man and the first woman and the first of each species.
I just asked you, if God created the first man, did it have a belly button? If it had a belly button, then God didn't create it. It came out of woman.
Okay, I don't know, and neither do you.
I do know.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me rewind that real quick, because that didn't make sense. Hold up.
As far as creation, I just want to say, because I believe in the Bible, and again, because it is a choice and because it is faith, God created the first man and the first woman and the first of each species.
I just asked you, if God created the first man, did it have a belly button? If it had a belly button, then God didn't create it. It came out of woman.
Okay, I don't know, and neither do you.
I do know.
You saw Adam's belly.
Listen, because that'd be something that they will have to tell you. That'll be something.
No,
that-
they don't.
They describe what Jesus looked like. They describe everything else. That'll be something that they have.
But
to
every
describe.
church that you go to has a
All right,
different representation of Jesus.
Well, science has got another thing happen. Did you know what happened to a baby? Right now, you're a woman, but
I am.
Did you know in about 4 weeks that what's inside your belly is actually a fish?
No, you're
No,
wrong.
the eyes is on the side of the head like this.
Well,
Listen to me. The eyes on the side of the head like this. Listen,
I understand what
it's
you're
inside
saying.
water, right?
I understand.
Whoa. It's inside of water, right?
But it's
And
not a fish.
Listen, and everything on earth right now started from a fish, but it was a jawless fish.
I
Listen,
disagree.
it was a jawless fish. Everything started from a jawless fish.
We disagree.
Oh, how can we disagree? Even AI gonna say this shit right, because this shit's the fucking truth, right? It's called.
Please
it's
don't swear at me.
science.
No, I understand.
It's science.
I understand in evolution.
But what we're talking about is, okay. Actually, you're a very nice lady.
Thank
okay?
you.
So,
I teach femininity.
you teach femininity?
I do.
Why do you have to teach femininity?
Because women have lost it today.
How did they lose it?
Because they're trying to
Here we go.
compete with men as men,
So
and we've
you-
lost our
So
femininity.
you think femininity is just talking like this?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
That's
I'm
not me at
so-
all.
No. When you say that women have been fierce, you're African.
I
Do you know
am.
they're fierce African warrior women?
Absolutely, but they're still feminine.
How are they feminine when they were slicing people's heads off, ripping them apart?
You know
'Cause
what?
You're saying you teach femininity.
I
I'm going
do.
to gamble and say that you teach them not to do those things.
Well, people do what they have to do in the time that they live to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our animals. We don't do that
So
anymore.
they don't have to survive today.
I didn't say that. What
Well,
I said that.
You said women lost it today.
I said women lost their femininity. Please don't speak for me.
Well, no, you said women lost their femininity today. and I said you're from Africa.
I
women
am.
were warriors.
Women
You said
were-
they
Hey,
had
Roger,
to do it
thank-
back
Roger,
then.
thank you for the
Today,
gift,
you
man.
said they don't have to do it now. They don't have to survive. Women.
What I said is we all did what we had to survive in the time
And
that
they don't
we
do
were
that
living.
today?
If I may
Women don't-
finish.
No, you can finish. I'm asking you, do they do it today?
Yes.
So you teach femininity.
I
do you
do.
teach women that they should be sweet and kind?
Oh, also let me correct this too, because there's a huge misunderstanding about proper debate etiquettes. Okay, she believed that whenever you debate someone, you're supposed to continually cut them off. And the reason why she believed in this is because in her mind, she's thinking that she's winning or she's trying to trap the person. But in a real professional debate setting, you do not cut a person off. Because when you do that, automatically that's considered as being disingenuous. In a real debate setting, you hear the person out. Give them at least about 60 seconds to articulate their points. Once when that 60 seconds is up, then you go back and you either follow up with a question or you articulate your particular position as well too. And that's how the way debate's supposed to go. So whenever I see people doing these particular debates, I've seen this a lot, preferably on YouTube, by the way, where I see people thinking that the audience look, oh man, they got to be winning the debate. They got to be winning the debate because she's saying stuff more than the other person. No, that's bullshit. That ain't how that goes.
That's bullshit.
That is not how debating goes. True debating goes. So another thing too that I want y'all to be familiar with too, especially when you be going on these other platforms on YouTube and you be hearing people debate, right? Psychologically speaking, the one who's tried to overtalk the most, I guarantee you that they don't know what the hell that they talking about and they just making shit up as they go. I guarantee that. But let's continue. Swab, yeah, you're right. The moderator did a horrible job of establishing and maintaining order. You want to know the reason why? You want to know the reason why? It's because first of all, the moderator is young. Second of all, just like what I said when I started off this episode, right, this show, right, the moderator already entered into being disingenuous with Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Right off the bat, he stood up here, said that you're talking soft and you need to speak into the mic. When he controlled the sound of the mic, all he got to do is turn her mic up. That's all he got to do. Just turn it up. So the host of the show, the moderator, he was already being disingenuous to begin with. And then on top of it, just like you stated, he ain't even moderating nothing. He ain't cutting people off. He not saying, like, hey, okay, give her time to answer. You state your point, that she gonna state her point, and we're gonna do whatever. He doesn't let it just be a rodeo. Just let them do whatever hell they want to do. Hence, when this Black Kimmy dude came up there and started speaking, she wasn't even talking to this dude. This dude just came out of nowhere and started talking. Not following no type of decorum whatsoever.
Or be warriors?
I teach women that they shouldn't be men.
Wait a minute. Do you teach them to be sweet and kind, or do you teach them to be warriors?
If you want to
if
be,
a woman fights a man,
I wasn't finished.
I'm going to ask you. I gotta
Okay.
because
You've asked me
I
multiple-
can't let this niceness throw me off.
Yeah,
When a
I'm
woman is-
struggling
when a
that
woman
you're
is
bothered by
fighting,
it.
because you said you teach femininity.
I
When
do.
a woman is fighting,
Women
do you
shouldn't
say
fight.
that's manly, or
It
do you
is.
say it's feminine?
It's very
If
masculine.
it's manly,
It
they
is.
are warriors
Yes.
today, and they don't have to survive today. But in the past, when they were warriors, it's okay.
Okay, if I may
What?
answer you.
Sure.
Again, we all do what we have to do to survive. There was a time when we had to grow our own crops and slaughter our own animals. I don't know if you're a mother. I'll speak for myself.
I'm
I had
talking
two
about
boys.
warriors, not farmers, not husbandry.
If
I'm talking
I
about
may-
warriors.
If I may answer.
Sure, answer, please. I'm waiting.
I consider myself a very kind and nonviolent person. However, cross me about my boys, it'll be a very different story. So
What will
if
you
you're
do?
in
What will you do? Will you still
whatever
be
I have
feminine?
to, not in that
So
moment.
it's masculine to fight.
Absolutely.
And here's another thing that's disingenuous about this. She's trying to bait her into having the conversation how the way she wanted to have it, to try to prove her wrong. But even by her saying that, she still is wrong. She made a point talking about, well, I'm talking about warriors. Do you not know that warriors are also farmers? They start off as being farmers first. That's the whole concept of what they say about hunting and gathering. What do you think hunting and gathering is? Farmers who are also warriors. It's interchangeable. It's the same exact concept.
Oh, so women can't fight.
I never said that. I never said that.
You did.
There
you said
were
it's
women.
masculine to fight.
It is masculine to
So
fight.
women can't fight or they're manly.
You can be a woman and have masculine moments. I'll give you an example. I'm a boy mom. There are times when I have to say, hey, get over
So
here.
you're manly.
In that moment, yes. But
So
when
why
I'm
are you
with,
teaching femininity if you're manly?
because my man
So
will
you
not
can be manly when you need to, but
and
the
so
women who are
can you.
manly, they
And
can't.
no, absolutely. What I'm saying is the women who come to me want to be in a relationship with a masculine man. A masculine man requires a feminine woman, full stop. All right? So if you want to be with a masculine man, oftentimes women today do not realize how masculine they have become. I'll give you another real world example. I'm a former executive. When you have to lead people and manage budgets and do all these things with millions, you take on that masculine energy and you don't know sometimes how to turn it off and be nice and sweet when you're in a nurturing mode, when you're with your husband.
Who's the governor of that? Who decides? You? Because you're a femininity coach. So you decide that when women are ready to be manly, they can be manly. You're calling it man. You call it manly to be assertive. You call it manly.
It is.
See. So you can decide because you're
For me.
But you're. There are so many women. There's
And not
billions
every
of people.
and not everybody is my
So
student.
how do you get to be an authority on who's feminine and who's not?
I'm not the authority
you
for
just-
Okay. All right. So now I'm in this particular situation. I have to give Maggie some pushback on this because part of it, I understand where she's coming from. Where she's coming from is that you have modern women who have masculine energy. Okay? Meaning that they have to be argumentative. They have to be controlling. They have to be vindictive. As a matter of fact, I did a show last night talking about personality traits, right? If y'all miss out on the show, I encourage you to go back and watch my show that I did last night talking about this and teaching us men how to vet out women, okay? But she's talking about these particular type of modern women who have this masculine energy, okay? That's what she's talking about. Now, the part that I push back on her on is that I don't believe that a woman is being masculine when she enter into certain type of leadership roles. Because even in a family unit, a woman is considered as being in a leadership role because she's the mother, she's the nurturer, she's doing these things for the church, different things like that. And that's a leadership role. When she decides to enter into the workforce and become a leader, that is a leadership role. That's because you're in a leadership role. That doesn't mean it's masculine. Okay? But what make it masculine is the whole energy behind it. Let's say in the same example of this weird-ass woman. I'm glad I paused it like this too because that's exactly how the way I view it, by the way. But this same weird-ass woman, right? She's coming into the workforce being argumentative on purpose, being petty on purpose, doing all these things on purpose, creating unnecessary chaos on purpose. To me, that's having a masculine energy about her. Where you can't even agree to disagree or nothing like that. She got to be right. And once again, this deals with, narcissism and different things like that. That's what I believe is having masculine energy. Okay? But let's continue. And I'm going to get back to the comments too, by the way. And I see the super chat as well too. I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Everyone, you're a femininity coach.
I am. When women come
So
to
you're not
me,
an authority. So I shouldn't listen to you.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay,
Because they
no one
want
should-
what I
no one should
have.
listen to you.
No.
Thank you. She said it.
No.
One should. So
I
you're
said
not, so you don't know
you-
anything about femininity because femininity isn't being nice and sweet. And guess what? Femininity is about fighting because
I disagree.
Because guess what? Females, lions, fight to the death while the male sits back. women and mothers, like you said, fight for their.
The female lions do not fight to the death while the men sit back. That is absolute bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Now, what the female lions do is that they hunt and gather, but they do it in a very destructive way. Okay. So what the female lion do is that they'll take the cubs and stuff, right? And they'll go and hunt for lesser prey, meaning that they'll go for, prey that they could easily hunt and get. Okay. But for us, the lion itself, right? The lion would go after the bigger prey, the bigger ones who are more stronger. All right. So they're not sitting up here having a death battle to try to prove who's the most dominant person and different things like that. I don't know where she got that bullshit from. And here's another thing too. I believe she getting this bullshit from this movie. What was that movie that came out a long time ago? The Woman King. I believe she's getting this bullshit from the Woman King. I believe that she's taking the movie The Woman King way out of context, because in that movie The Woman King, it was showing women being dominant in a sense over men. And you got to understand, when Hollywood created that movie, they created that movie purposely so it could have feminism behind it. But the truth about that tribe is this. The truth is that, yes, the king did have women who was part of the royal army. That was true. But they wasn't dominating like that, how the way the movie portrayed it to be. They lied on that because they tried to promote a propaganda due to feminism. To try to show the people that, yeah, a black woman is strong and independent and she don't need a man. Even if she did have a man, she's the true king. That's why they named him. As a matter of fact, that's why they named the movie The Woman King, even though they had a king. That's why they named it that way. But let's continue.
Children, you said it's manly to fight.
It
so
is.
You are not. Which one is it?
Nobody is feminine 100% of the time. And if a man,
Exactly.
if a man loses a family member and he is heartbroken and crying, that is not a masculine moment. That is
I think we need to redefine we need to redefine that crying is not being masculine. We need to redefine that fighting isn't not being feminine. That's the problem. It's it's a social thing.
You can define it however you want to. All I'm saying is there is a natural biology.
So is it
Wow,
it wrong?
you really
No,
interrupting
is it wrong for your sons to cry if
Absolutely
their
not.
turtle dies?
Absolutely
and if
not.
is it wrong if your son gets hit by another person and he cries and they say you're a sissy?
That's absolutely
by your
wrong.
standards. He's being feminine crying.
If
right?
he's a boy, that's expected. If he's a man, absolutely not.
No. If a boy or a man end up crying for any type of one reason, right, that's dealing with physical harm and pain, that is a natural human response. That is not him being feminine. Okay? Now, him being feminine is him sitting up here crying, and not only he's crying, but he's having an emotional crisis behind it, meaning that he's sitting up here making the situation way more chaotic than what it really need to be. Okay? Instead of him understanding that it's okay for him to articulate himself and express himself, he want to take it a step further. He want to do what I call being hyper emotional, being a hyper emotional male. That's when it becomes wrong. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with men expressing themselves. Matter of fact, I'm a father, and me being a father, I didn't tell my sons that it is nothing wrong with you crying, bro. A matter of fact, it is a natural human response for you to cry when you're experiencing any type of pain, you're experiencing any type of stress. Because I would agree with her on this, with the woman that had on this. I do agree on this concept. There are some forms of the patriarchy where they do teach men that you should bottle up your emotions. You should hide your emotions. You shouldn't articulate yourself how the way you should feel. But I don't agree in that bullshit at all, period.
That's bullshit.
The reason why is because that's the reason why a lot of our brothers is having mental health crisis right now. It's because they've been taught that bullshit. So why a lot of us brothers end up crashing out, end up not only unaliving themselves, but they end up unaliving other people as well too, doing harm to other people, because they've been taught to bottle up their emotions instead of articulate it in a healthy way. So part of it, I can agree with what she's talking about, but most part of it, she's talking bullshit.
Man gets punched in the face, and
he's going to punch you back.
So wait, men can't cry?
I never said that.
Yes, you just
Are you
did.
listening?
You
No,
just said it.
I said we are not masculine 100% of the time, and we are not feminine 100% of the time. Whatever outcome the woman wants, the women that come to me, because you said I shouldn't be the authority. I am not the authority. I am just a mom on the internet.
Right.
But women come to me because they want what I have. They see something in me that they do not see in somebody like you.
Oh,
and they say, you know what, Maggie, I would love to have a relationship like yours. I would love to be able to communicate like you. I would like to be able to keep my composure like you. I would love to be able to have respect of men that do not know me. How can I do that?
Give them everything you got, then, because the only way you can do it. Because no matter what you do, hold up, you just said they come to you and they say they love everything that you got. So if you want to help them, give them everything that you got.
I do.
Hold up, no, give them everything. You should have nothing left for yourself.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, if you gave them
What?
everything, if they like everything that you like, if I like your shirt and you
Yes.
give me your shirt, you
Yeah.
have no other shirt.
Right.
What?
Right? If you gave me your shirt right now, you'd be shirtless.
That is true.
What?
So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that you are fighting for things, and listen, I sit up and talk. You're beautiful. I love you. I love everything you said. I'm gonna say this. I cry all the time. I cry before I started
You're not.
this.
You're masculine.
Right, but I'm masculine and femininity. They exist together.
Yes, it's
They-
called
it's
polarity.
both.
we do agree.
Right. It's
Yes.
it's both. But I don't want a woman. Like a lot of men want a submissive woman. I don't want a submissive woman. I don't
'Cause
like-
you're not
I
a
don't- I don't
masculine
want a
man.
Oh, listen.
There it is.
Goodness. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do a teaching for y'all, gentlemen. I'm going to teach y'all about relationship traits, okay? One of the relationship traits that I'm going to teach to y'all tomorrow night is dealing with egalitarian relationships. Those of y'all who don't understand what egalitarian relationship is, it's simply being in a relationship where both the man and woman are equal in this relationship. I want y'all to understand this, gentlemen, that this relationship, as long as the other one that's out there, which is partnership, right? These are the two relationships that I believe it is screwing us up in this modern day time, for real. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I believe that this gentleman, he is in this equal relationship, that he believed that both him and the woman have authoritative power in this relationship dynamic. Reason why I believe that is because he simply said that he's existing both in the divine masculine and the divine feminine at the same time. But gentlemen, that is some absolutely bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. You are created to be a man. Don't let these modern day feminists, these modern day weird people tell you that you both a man and a woman. That's the reason why we got all these damn transformers running out here right now, confused as hell. Because somebody told them that they could be both a man and a woman. We could have the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And the reason why we could have the divine masculine and the divine feminine, because God, which is a woman, exists in the divine masculine and the divine feminine at the same time. And then they'll use a scientific talking point. I love it when they use a scientific talking point. They say, hey, what about the mantis? Do y'all know that the mantis is both a man and a woman at the same time? Or they'll use amphibians as well too. You know that an amphibian has both man and the female body parts at the same time. So obviously, if they got it, then we exist in it as well too. And then the last talker point, they'll sit up here and say things like, yeah, you know that there are some humans populating the earth, right, where they have both penis and a vagina, right? You know that, right? So that means we exist in the divine masculine and feminine at the same time. Not understanding that that's a mutation. That's an anomaly. Because if that was true, then all of us would have that same type of genetic makeup. Every last one of us. But they will use these narratives and stuff, right, to convince you that, yeah, this got to be true, but it's not. It's not true. It's not true at all. But I want to hear how this dude is going to deal with Maggie calling him, not calling him a man. Because to be honest with you, to be fair, he said earlier that he exists both in the masculine and the femininity, right? So what does it matter about her saying that he's not masculine? You're in the feminine, right? So what difference does it make? But let's hear it. Real quick before we get into it. I don't want to get too far out of bounds on this. Shout out to the super chat for Swab. Swab, he said that to me, this wasn't a debate, it was an ambush, and I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. I agree that Maggie, she walked into this wholeheartedly, that she wants to just share her perspective about how the way she is as a traditional woman, and also her worldview, religious belief system. But them, on the other hand, they didn't walk into it wholeheartedly. They just wanted to debate, because the woman in the hat, she clearly kept saying over and over again, you're too nice for me. I want to debate. I want chaos and all this different bullshit. And here's another thing that's very disingenuous, right? They could have very well ended this conversation at the beginning. But they so bad wanted this clip. Crazy. Let's finally, so y'all see where I paused the video at? If you want to zoom in closer, you'll see the host over there laughing. And this goes to what I was telling y'all earlier about the host. And one of the people in the chat said about the host as well too, about him not moderating. This dude wanted this situation to happen so he get this clip in view and people could view his channel. That's ultimately what it was. Young dude.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
Salamanders.
I'm something that you probably don't understand, right? A masculine man is going to tell you what to do. They're going to attach you. They're going to try to hold you down. Listen to me. Hold up. Listen to me. I exist in both. I'm both masculine and feminine, right? Because I understand the duality of both. I understand that my mind have a left and a right side. I activate them both, right? Okay. So I'm going to say this. I'm not here to tell you what you should do, right? I'm not going to define what's masculinity to you and what it's not. But I don't want a submissive woman, because once you tell a woman to submit to you, that's me telling the woman that I'm above her. I'm not above no woman. Hold up. If that's the case, when a child come out, then the mother should automatically submit to the child if the child is a male.
What?
Hold up, because you're suggesting that I am above you, right? That
My
you
man is.
Hold up. Listen, I'm gonna say this. You're in prison, and listen, and I'm gonna say this. And
I'm
your
happy.
Man, listen to me. You're in prison.
I'm
your
not.
man is fine what you do, and that's a life that you shouldn't want to live.
You're
right?
wrong.
Because you have been programmed to believe that submitting is something that you want to do, but in reality, in your mind, right now, I'm just right now, know what you're doing right now? You're wearing what they call a mask. Right now, you're doing this. I disagree with you.
Then who's the real me?
Oh, I could just ask your husband. He'll tell you when you're mad. Yeah. That's what you do. And that's who the fuck you is. And you want to sit here and act like that's not who the fuck you is. Shut the fuck up talking when I'm talking. Don't you fucking talk again. Why the fuck are you talking?
No.
Why are you talking?
Because
Shut the fuck up.
Are you going to be disrespectful?
Now, keep in mind earlier, he just said this. He just said that he don't believe that a person should submit. He just said that, right? But right after that, he's telling her to shut the fuck up. Isn't that not a submission word? Isn't that not a man trying to get a woman to submit? Isn't this not him proving his own argument wrong? Gentlemen, this is bad. We need to understand clearly that we live in a culture, we live in a society where rules, regulation exists for a reason. Laws exist for a reason. You can't just live here on this, as they call prison rock, and think you could just do any old damn thing you want when you want. There's a divine hierarchy behind it, and there's a purpose behind it. If there wasn't no rules, guess what happened? Anarchy. Total chaos, meaning that people could do whatever the hell they want when they want. A man could walk up to a woman and grape the hell out of her without any type of repercussions. A woman could walk up and grape the hell out of a man without any type of repercussions. Both man and a woman could have an orgy on a boy or a little girl without no type of repercussions whatsoever, because there's no law and order. There's no submissiveness, none of that. You could walk up and covet your neighbor's house. You could walk up and steal, because there's no submissiveness. There's no law. There's no order. It's anarchy. And you mean to tell me that him and this woman in this hat believe in that bullshit? That you just should do whatever the hell you want when you want? No, that's absolutely bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I'm putting it this way. Why this dude, we're going to back it up a little bit, but why this dude doing this, I guarantee that this Negro submits to the system. I guarantee that. If the system tell him to do something, he's going to do it. If he approach a red light and that red light tell his dumb ass to stop, guess what he's going to do? He's going to stop. He's not going to run that light and say, fuck it, I don't submit to anything. He's not going to do that. He's going to obey it. That's a form of submission. If a police officer pulled his dumb ass over because that officer believed that he impeded on the law, that he broke the law in any type of way, guess what he's going to do? He's not going to keep driving while the cop chase after him. He's going to submit. He's going to pull over. He's going to stop. He may have some words. He may say some dumb bullshit, knowing his type being a chemist and stuff. He may say some dumb bullshit, separate, talking about that he's a sovereign citizen and all this weird shit and stuff, right? But at the end of the day, he's still going to have to submit. He's going to have to submit to the system, to the order. So if all of this is existing, right, why in the hell do we have a problem with orchestrating this in our relationships? Why is that an issue? Yes, there's a hierarchy. The man is the head. Every woman on this damn planet, at the end of the day, regardless if you're a feminist or not, want your man to be the head because they don't want to do every damn thing. Am I lying about that? Or am I telling the truth? At the end of the day, they want a man to do everything. They want the man to take the leadership role, even in their chaos. So why is it hard for us to accept that there's a hierarchy in relationship? It's God, man, woman, child. Why is that hard? Why is that difficult? Reason why, Jim, is because we live in selfish times, bro. We live in selfish times where we got people who have mental issues for real. That they are chaotic in their mind. They don't believe that they are, but they are. They really are. But we're going to bag this up a little bit because, once again, I want y'all to understand this whole concept, this whole dynamic. And once again, shout out to Maggie for having her composure. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was any other person up there, I'm pretty sure any other person up there would have been to cuss his dumb ass out right about now. But shout out to her, because just like I told y'all earlier in the stream, it takes a lot to master being in composure like that. That's not something that it just comes naturally. You have to master that. You have to train yourself to be that way. Okay? The same concept when you want to deal with people who study martial arts, right? When you have these weird people that want to come up and try to challenge them and stuff, right? They know that it's a time and a place for everything. They just can't challenge everybody like it's fucking Mortal Kombat. Because they know if they do it, they know that their body is actually a weapon, and they know they could go to jail if they're not using their weapon properly. So they train themselves to have composure when they out in public spaces and when they deal with certain type of people. And that's something that you have to master. So shout out to her for mastering this particular skill. But like I said, we want to back it up a little bit, y'all, because once again, I want y'all to just get this whole concept, because I know that other content creators that's reacting to this, right, and, that's giving their anecdotal shout out to them. But I really want to break this thing down so y'all can understand this clearly, behavioral wise, spiritual wise, and everything in between. Okay, so we can have a logical, thought-provoking conversation on this. All right, so let's continue.
Hold up. Listen, I'm gonna say this. You're in prison, and listen, and I'm gonna say this. And
I'm happy.
Listen to me. You're in prison.
You're
man is fine what you do, and that's a life that you shouldn't want to live.
You're wrong.
Because you have been programmed to believe that submitting is something that you want to do, but in reality, in your mind, right now, know what you're doing right now. You're wearing what they call a mask. Right now, you're doing this. I disagree with you.
Then who's the real me?
Listen. Oh, I could just ask your husband. He'll tell you when you're mad. Yeah. That's what you do, and that's who the fuck you is. And you want to sit here and act like that's not who the fuck you. Shut the fuck up talking.
So he stood up and said that the real her comes out when she becomes upset. Do y'all agree with him on that? Now, understand where he get this concept from. He get this concept from where other people talk about this, that they say that you don't know the real person until you make them mad, you make them upset. I beg to differ on that. I believe that they still the same person, even when they become upset and angry. This is who they really are, regardless if you mad or upset or not. And here's another thing too. With his logic, right, that means that this is the real person who he is. This is his real mask of who he really is, right? If we're going to think about this logically, right? But let's continue.
When I'm talking, don't you fucking talk again. Why the fuck are you talking?
No.
Why are you talking?
Because
shut the fuck up.
Are you going to be disrespectful? I was respectful to you.
Oh, also, this woman in the hat right here, I don't know if y'all could hear her, but she's sitting up here mocking her. She's sitting up here talking about, you got to be quiet. You got to want to be feminine. You got to be submissive. You got to do all these things, right? But they just said a few moments ago that they don't believe in a woman being submissive. So why are you mocking her and saying that she got to be submissive when you don't believe in that? That goes against your own belief system.
There you go. It's not about respect. It's the fact that
But did I answer
you're still
you?
holding in. No, you're still holding in. I disrespect
Because
you.
it's called
You should stand
composure.
up for yourself. No.
No.
You should stand up for yourself. No. You're bottling it in. When you leave, you know what you're going to say? That motherfucker in there yelling at me. He's doing all this shit.
I
You're
don't
gonna
have
leave.
to say. I don't have to say it because you made
a great point.
You made
you're not being yourself.
So the moderator back
You
there
don't know
shaking his
me.
head.
No,
You don't know me at
I know you're a
all.
human being, and I know that the way you're reacting to someone doing that is not natural.
It's called composure.
No, it's called you're being. You're
No, what she's saying, that is true. It's not natural at all. The reason why it's not natural is because, once again, that's something you have to train yourself to become. You have to train yourself to be that way and master it. So yeah, any normal person, yeah, they will lose their composure. They'll get upset and do weird stuff. But she trained herself to be that way, which it is nothing wrong with that.
ma'am.
Who is shaking? Oh, she's shaking?
You.
I'm sorry that
like this. You're angry. Admit it.
I am not angry because I don't respect you.
There's nothing wrong with being angry.
I don't respect you.
Go where you respect it. You can't get respect. Listen,
You can shout at me, but I don't
never
even
shouted.
know you.
Listen,
You
listen,
shouted at me and you slammed the table.
You said, listen, you disrespected me since you've been here. You said I was
How did I
masculine. You
dis-
said I
oh,
was
yeah, I said
masculine.
you're not
You
a
said you don't
masculine
respect
man.
me. Listen,
Yeah,
hold on.
that's true.
Everything that you said was disrespect. But you,
Wait a-
everything I said to you,
Wait a minute. So since she called him not being a masculine man, that's been disrespectful. He just said it that he wasn't a masculine man. He just said that he's feminine as well too. So if you're existing in polarity as they are articulated, right, then at that moment you're not being masculine at all. You're being feminine as hell. Isn't that right? So why would you get mad about that? Why would you get offended about that? I know the reason why. It's because of reality. He don't even believe in his own bullshit.
That's bullshit.
He don't believe in his own doctrine. He don't even believe in his own bullshit. He just saying shit. Doesn't be saying it.
was polite, was giving you,
You did.
nothing but love, right? But the moment I said something you didn't like, you're going to say that disrespect. But you never acknowledged when I said something good to you.
But you said you
never
loved-
acknowledged it.
No.
Hold up. Stop. Let me
I said
speak.
thank-
Hold up. You never acknowledged when I said something good to you. But the moment I say something you don't like, you acknowledge that. But that's how people is in the
I
world.
did
They
thank you.
acknowledge what's bad. They never acknowledge what they can figure is good.
Okay, may I
Right?
speak?
Why should I allow you to speak when you won't even accept my kindness?
I did when
Once again, allow her to speak. That's a form of submission, which he don't believe in.
you gave me the compliment. I said thank you, but you told me you loved me, and I said you don't even know
Define
me.
love. Find love. Love is both. Listen, I'm gonna say this. You don't think you know love. I don't know you. I know you don't know love because love is both.
I am so
listen,
loved.
If you were so loved, then everybody you love, you never was mad at.
That's not true.
So love exists.
Mad is an emotion.
So love exists, and all the emotions exist inside love.
I
So you
would
can't
disagree
determine
with
whether I
you.
love you or not.
I would
You can't
disagree.
determine that.
If I may speak, I think when you love somebody, you're actually madder at them than someone you don't love. Take your children, right? If your children disobey you, if you see a kid acting out in the store, falling out, you're like, well, there they go. But if you see your kid misbehaving, you're even angrier because you want a better outcome for them.
Your
Because
decide.
That's true.
If I see my kid fall, I'm not gonna think that you're trying to make
Okay,
me
that's
and your
fair.
reaction.
No, that's actually true. That's not what he's saying, but what Maggie said, that is absolutely true. And we could prove this, right? Gentlemen, whenever we enter into any type of relationship with the woman, right, and we release our feelings to that woman, completely right. We release our heart to that woman, completely right. What hurt worse? What hurt worse is that we had decided to absolutely trust this woman with everything, including our heart, and she ended up breaking our heart. The moment when that emotion or them feelings or whatever happened, right, that's when you start articulating that. That's when you start getting more upset about it. It pisses you off. Because first of all, you thinking to yourself like, damn, why in the hell did I put myself into this situation? Second of all, you're upset at the person who put you in this situation. You mad as hell. So you be even more madder because you're mad at the situation. Even so, you're heartbroken about it and disappointed. All at the same time. Now, if it's dealing with a person that you really don't know well, you're not going to have them additional emotions or them attachments or, like I called it last night, soul ties. So you're not going to have them soul ties like that with a person that you don't know. Hence, that's the reason why Maggie kept telling this dude over and over again is that, why you simply tell me that you love me when you don't even know who I am? You don't even know me at all, period. Which was she saying it is true. And here's another thing too. I don't know if y'all noticed this, right? Whenever my brothers come over here, right, and y'all listen to my show, y'all notice that I don't say things such as, brothers, I love you. Brothers, we're this, and brothers, we're that. Notice I don't say that. The reason why I don't say that is because I understand logically that I don't know you and you don't know me. I also believe that you shouldn't use the term love so loosely, especially with people who you don't know. I believe that when you use the term love and you express that love, that it should be earned, not just freely given. So you just can't freely give that particular gift to any old person. It have to be earned. I have to earn that. You have to earn that. Even when you be in a relationship with the people, if you decide to get into relationships, you have to earn that. It's not freely given. But if you are freely given this particular thing, then I'm questioning that about you. I really am. But let's continue.
This is what I'm saying. Love is unconditional. It no matter what you do to me.
I disagree.
No matter what you do to me, no matter what I do to you, love will still be there, right?
Yeah.
That's true love.
Yeah.
That's true love,
Yeah.
right? Fake love become determined by you do this, I give you love. You do this, I give you this, right? That's fake. Real love exists inside of everything if it's real love.
I agree, but I do think it has to be earned, and I think it has to be
I
maintained.
ain't earning no love from nobody.
That's fine.
Because like once you got to earn it, you gonna have to continue earning
Does
it.
a newborn have to earn love when it comes out of your womb?
For children, it's different.
So,
However,
you have standard. You see how you have different. Oops.
no, but
Let me correct this because she's sitting up here using another red herring. All right, she's sitting up here saying that do a newborn have to earn love? Do a newborn have to earn love? What do y'all think I'm gonna say about this? Gertrude, salute. And salute to everybody who's tuning into the stream. Once again, we're reacted to Maggie the Substitute Teacher. She had a very phenomenal, very porous debate with these weird-ass modern feminists, wannabe chematology people. Okay. I believe that she's doing a phenomenal job of articulating herself to the best of her ability, even though she got suckered into this debate. So make sure you hit the thumbs up to support this channel, all right? So I asked y'all a question a few seconds ago. What do you think I'm going to say about that, about the newborn? Do the newborn have to earn love? Here's my answer to that. Do the newborn have to earn the love? Yes. Yes, the newborn have to earn the love. Now, the question you should be asking yourself, you should be saying, Urban, how do the newborn earn love? What do the newborn have to do in order to earn this type of love from the woman? Are y'all thinking about it? Because I'm gonna share with you the truth behind this. And the truth behind this is gonna make you really think about this, okay? How the way a newborn eventually earns love from the mother is this. Let's think about the very beginning. How's that baby created? Biologically speaking, the baby is created through the father and through the mother. The father end up procreating together. The father ejaculates his sperm into the mother. It cycles up and goes into the mother's egg. It penetrates the egg. It becomes an embryo. Then from an embryo, it becomes a fetus. And from a fetus, end up becoming a child. So throughout this whole entire concept, right, I want you to think about this. Without the father's seed, there's no reason for the egg to be there. Without the father's seed, that egg is not going to turn into an embryo. It's not going to turn into a fetus. It's not going to turn into an actual being or a child. That sperm had to earn its right to get to the egg. Y'all do understand that, right? Y'all do understand that through biology, through the whole travel of a man's sperm, a woman's body immediately determines that man's sperm as a foreign object or a foreign being, and they begin to secrete things to try to kill off that sperm immediately. So them sperms have to earn their right to get to the egg there. Even after when they get to the egg, they have to earn their right to do what? Penetrate that egg. Once when the egg is being penetrated with that sperm and it becomes an embryo and it becomes a fetus, guess what? That fetus is now fighting to earn that right to become a child. Because even through that concept, the woman body is still fighting different things. And here's a super important fact. And I want y'all to gravitate to this. And this is going to be the reason why I, like on other streams, I have said this, right? In this modern day time, right, we have modern day women who loosely go out and do what to them childs, to them embryos before they become born. What do they do? What do they do? They have abortions. They have abortions. So while this embryo is literally fighting for its life to earn the right to become a child, this woman decides that, you know what? I feel like what you're doing isn't good enough for me. I feel like what I got going on in my life is way more important than what you got going on inside of my stomach. So I'm going to no longer allow you to earn the right to become a child in my stomach. So I'm going to terminate you. This is one of the main reasons why I'm against abortions. And also, this is one of the main reasons why I say that that whole entire concept, that child is literally earning their right. They earning their love. Because at any given damn time, that woman could change her damn mind and terminate that child. Do y'all know that there are certain cases where even when the woman tries to attempt to terminate that child, that some miraculous way the child still end up becoming born? I done heard women try to stick coat hangers up, their coochie and different things like that. I done heard women who will take Plan Bs and still end up getting pregnant. I done heard women who are drink Casamigos and different type of alcohols to try to kill this being out of their stomach, but that child still is born. And all of that is still earning this right to be loved. So yes, a baby do have to earn a right for that woman's love, because if that woman do not fall in love with that child, then she's going to terminate that child. If she don't have a connection with that child, she's going to terminate that child. So yes, the baby do have to do that for sure. But let us continue.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I was just going to say this. I focus on relationships, children aside, right? Because they come how they come, right? That's just, again, my faith, the purity of a baby being born. Let's talk about relationships, because that's something that I'm passionate about. I can love my man, but if he doesn't continue to do the things that make me love him, that love is going to fade. We have to, that's why it's called keeping the home fires burning. I think as women, that is our responsibility. That's part of our nurturing. A relationship is not just going to be beautiful and bright just because I told you one time that I love you. If I'm not doing those loving things, you're going to feel slighted from me. And over time, that love will fade. How many times have we heard people say we fell out of love or it's just not there anymore because we didn't put the work in to maintain it?
They never loved you in the first
appreciate
place.
you.
Because you said, listen,
I
love,
disagree.
listen, if you let, I'm saying this.
Okay.
Right? If you love somebody,
Yes.
love never leaves.
That's true.
The moment it leaves, it never was love. So I'm gonna say this, right?
Okay.
People confuse love with attachments, meaning that if you sit here, if you do everything I tell you to do, then I can give you my love. But the moment you leave, that love disappears. The moment you disobey me, that love disappears. So that, I believe, is not love. The true love that you said,
Yes.
that we both agree on,
Yes.
all of us, that when the baby came in,
Yes.
they got that love.
That's
so
true.
I say that when you love somebody, it should be that love.
Well,
and if
even-
it's not that love, then it's not love at all.
That's fair. I agree with you. And even the Bible that neither of you agree with has different.
I never said I agree with the Bible.
Okay, my mistake then.
I agree.
I believe it's Greek, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but I believe it's Greek that has different words for different types of love, right? Right.
Okay,
So,
there's agape love,
right,
and then we have philo love,
right,
and
brotherly.
So this is the thing I'm trying to understand with you.
Okay.
Are you do femininity coaching?
Yes.
You say, well, if my husband keeps on doing everything fine, that's great, but if he stops loving me, do you stop submitting? Or what do? You just go and start
I think submission.
internalizing everything?
I think submission is a choice. What I'm saying is that when you love someone, when you're in a relationship, you have to nurture that. Take any relationship. We'll put love relationships to the side. You can't be a good employee and not show up. You can't be.
Now, real quick, now since we're circling back to the submitted thing too, let's tie submitting to their concept about the child. Now, once again, like I was explaining it to y'all, do y'all understand also that that child, that fetus, that embryo, whatever it is, right, have to submit to their mother? That fetus just can't do whatever the hell they want to do. There's a divine order behind it. That fetus can't just say, you know what, I don't feel like being a fetus no more. That fetus can't say, you know what, I don't feel like being in the mom's stomach. I'm going to go into the lungs. That fetus have to follow a divine order, which is submission. So once again, I don't understand why people have this narrative thinking that submission shouldn't exist when it does exist in everything, in every possible life that we do. Submission is in the order. Even the air that we breathe is a form of submission. Do you know that through chemistry and stuff, right? Do you know that if one of the elements, just one of the elements end up misbehaving and it take away our oxygen, that we no longer have the ability to breathe here on Earth? But the reason why it's there is because it's under submission. It's currently abided by the divine order that's been placed on this planet. Same thing with atoms and matter and different things like that. It is under a divine order or submission. It has to submit to be in place or where they need to be at. If it's not in place, then guess what? It's going to break apart. It's going to become chaotic. Even if you want to think about it in astronomy and different things like that, when you talk about the planets and you talk about black matter and all the stuff, that all of that is still under submission.
A good mother, sister, friend. You have to continue to do the things that bring that relationship closer. So yes, if your husband stops doing the things, if your wife stops sleeping with
I
you.
want to go back to the mother thing.
With the woman I'm with, I ain't slept with her. She's watching this. I haven't slept with her about 13 months to this day.
Damn.
She's still there, will not leave. This is true.
I believe you.
Oh, I know that's true.
This is true. This is true.
I believe you.
I'm saying This was a choice that I made.
I understand.
Right? The choice that I made don't say I don't love someone because I don't want to stick my dick in them.
Can you speak to me without swearing?
Listen, it's the thing, right? I could speak to you without swearing if you could speak to me as you.
I mean, she's speaking to him as her. He does not accepting it. And second of all, let's circle back around this. Why are you not having sex with your wife at 13 months? Why did you make a decision to do that? Why did you make a decision to not have sex with your wife for 13 months? Now, my only logical explanation behind this is that either he's cheating on his wife with another woman, or a man in these days, you'll never know, especially with these chematology Negroes, you know what I'm saying? Since they both divine masculine and divine feminine at the same time. You'll never know, but it's either that or his wife ended up becoming pregnant and he decided not to touch her and she ended up carrying her term longer than what she needed to be, or she'd already had the baby and she still cannot have sex with him because she needed to heal up and stuff. So they're the only two logical reasons I could think of. I wouldn't see a man consciously making the decision to be celibate with a woman that you're married. I can understand celibacy if you're single, but celibacy when you're married, no, that's some bullshit.
That's bullshit.
There's something going on there.
Know what you mean by that.
Before you decided to become a femininity coach and decided that you knew everything about femininity.
I never said I know everything. I took my own courses.
Speak to me like you was before you started speaking like that. And
that cost me my marriage. Here's the thing.
That ain't cost your marriage. Your husband left you because he didn't see who you was. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. If you lost, you never lost shit. Right? Because you are whole. I'm sorry. I don't want to cuss because you say don't cuss in front of me. I'm going to say this. You are beautiful. You never lost nothing. Nothing never
Why the hell does dude wearing
his gloves? How do you know if you weren't there?
I just noticed that he started putting on gloves. Why did he put on these gloves? Hey, Morris, I seen you in the comment. I seen you in the comment talking about his fingers, right? Because I said something about it too. So maybe someone has said something live about this when they was live. And they confronted him about his fingers. And so now he decided to put on gloves to hide it. But it make him look even more weirder. It make him look even more weirder. Like, damn, what the hell?
You are beautiful. Listen, because everything, listen, I'm saying this. Anything that comes from you is beautiful. Yes, you probably make mistakes. Everything make mistakes. But if somebody loves you,
I'm
they're
a
going to love
sinner.
you through
I'm
it.
a hopeless sinner.
No, you're not. You're not. Sinner is a sine wave. You was born in a wave of energy, right? The words have been changed and things are different.
I have made mistakes.
You submitting to a God, you submitting to a man, you living your life submitting.
And I am so happy because men are leaders.
Kim, what's up with it, bro?
Yes.
When you sat down, you said, why are we in a prison if we didn't do any crime? But you admit to being sinners.
Right.
And sin is a crime. So that's why you're in a prison planet.
Well,
if you want to go by that.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good point.
Prison planet isn't just
because I said that earlier.
Sin, though.
There's
nothing inside of. He said there's nothing inside of that body.
Oh, my doctor would beg to disagree, but okay.
But I mean, there's. If you're not a Bible scholar, I'm usually, wanting to talk to people who know a little bit more about the language and the actual Bible.
But how is that helping you? Debating?
Oh, it helps a lot because I uncover the esoteric of the Bible. People have been taught that Jesus is a serpent, that the serpent's evil. When you tell people, no, the serpent isn't evil, you start breaking,
I never said that. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about
start
yourself.
Breaking programs.
Okay.
The programs that tell you that you have to keep sitting here and talking like this when
Would you
people
believe
scream at you. Because the Bible tells you you're supposed to submit. You're weaker. You're lower. You do what men say. So if you knew that there were certain things in the Bible that programmed your mind to not be naturally yourself,
I would.
Now, see, she's using the traditional feminist talking points, all right? Saying that you're weaker, that you're lower, and different things like that. Now, I want to correct this because I have seen many of my brothers use this similar talking point, but in reverse, talking about the patriarchy, okay? I want to correct both the feminists and my brothers who believe in this, okay? I believe that is the absolute wrong terminology to use when it's dealing with our women. When it's talking, even in biblical, when it's talking about the woman being lower than you, that doesn't mean that she's lower for as she's inferior and you're superior. Okay. But in reality, what it's talking about is that when it says that she's lower, it means that she has a lower duty than you as a man. I want y'all to understand this clearly. I'm going to repeat it. It means that she has a lower duty than you as a man. As a man, we have a higher duty. We have a higher responsibility. That's why we're part of the hierarchy. It's because of our duties and responsibility that we do as a man. But for us, the woman existing, she's not inferior to us, gentlemen. She does have a lower duty than us, gentlemen. That's what it means. Hence, the whole concept about why all biblical scriptures, no matter where you look at it, it says that the woman is what? A helpmeet or a helper. It's not talking about that because you're superior and she's inferior. One of the biggest mistakes, preferably in this country, right, in the United States, so many of y'all watch me from the United States. I probably got someone watch me from the UK and Africa and different like that. Shout out to y'all. But preferably in this country, in the United States, right, one of the biggest fuck-ups that the founding fathers did is when they was using the patriarchy, right? They was using the patriarchy and they was treating women like property instead of understanding that women are helpers or help me so they could make sure that your goals are being met how the way it need to be met as a man and as a leader. They was treating women as property. And by them doing that, they was treating the women as being inferior. The same concept how the slave masters was treating black Americans back in the day. Treating them inferior, like they were property. That's where we screwed up at in this country. Hence, this is the reason why feminism, inequality, and all these laws end up existing is because of the fuck up that we did in this country in the beginning. And that is the God honest truth. So we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing, there's one concept out there in preferably in the red pill community and stuff, right? Not the true red pill, right? But there's a concept in, certain neo red pill communities and neo manosphere, right? Where men are teaching other men that domestic discipline is the way to go with women. Meaning that you should discipline your woman physically, mentally, and spiritually. Tear her down so she could submit to you. I don't subscribe to that neo teaching because it is bullshit. That teaching is what screwed us up. That teaching is what got us into this gender war bullshit like we dealing with in this modern day time right now. Because they're not our properties, gentlemen. They are our helpers. They are our helpmeet. They help us in so many different ways. They help us procreate, to keep our legacy going. Any type of endeavors that we got going on with our life, whether it's business-wise or whatever, they dare to help assist us. And the same concept, gentlemen, and the same concept with dealing with corporate businesses, where you have a CEO, you have a manager, you have supervisors, you have leads, you have employees. Everybody is working together in one system, or as you say, one body. Everybody has a role. And so you don't treat one person better than the other. Matter of fact, this will make the biblical scripture true. In the New Testament, where it was talking about the body of Christ, where it was saying that there are different members in the body of Christ. But all of them has a role. And one thing, don't say that they better than the other thing. They don't have a superiority and an inferiority complex. That's why I'm trying to articulate to you, gentlemen. But let's continue. We almost done. Shout out to everyone in the building. Right now, we're reacting to Maggie, the substitute teacher. She had a phenomenal debate with these modern feminists, Kemet people, whatever you want to call them, right? She had a phenomenal debate talking about religion, talking about Earth being in prison, femininity, all type of stuff. And shout out to her for, doing this. I also shout out to Maggie for also holding herself accountable, because I went on to her channel and I was reading the description on her, right? I was reading the description on this particular video that she shared on her channel, and she was holding herself accountable. She said this. She has said that, first of all, I want to apologize to the president. Now, she's not talking about President Trump. She's talking about her husband. She wants to apologize to her husband is because her husband literally told her not to do this. He said, "Don't do this, Maggie. Don't do this." But she felt that she was doing the right thing, even after when her husband told her not to do it. Then later on down the line, other people who cared about her told her the same as that thing. Told her not to do this. Don't go on this show. Don't go on this podcast. But for some reason, she believed that she needed to go on her, and she did it. So after when she went on her, she posted in the description of this video that we reacted to right now, telling us that, hey, I want to hold myself accountable for all this that happened, that transpired. I think it's very courageous for her to do that because, to be honest, there's not a lot of women that does that. There's not a lot of women that will literally hold themselves accountable like that. Accountability to a lot of modern women is like you trying to get them to pull a gun on you or something. I don't know. It's hard for them to hold themselves accountable. That's the point I'm trying to make. But shout out to her for doing that, holding herself accountable. But also at the same time, by her doing this, she opened up the conversation to truth. She showed two truths. She showed the truth about modern day feminism. She also showed the truth and debunk about this modern day black chematology belief system. And she also showed y'all the truth that it is people out there who have mastered holding themselves under composure, even when they're dealing with high stressful situations. So shout out to her for that, man. But let's continue.
Would help you. So me showing people that Jesus is the serpent in the garden of Genesis 3 helps.
So I hope not.
Say,
come
I'm
out you for
breaking
Texas.
Just like in the Matrix. Once he saw that one thing, Neo started breaking the program. So
I
that's the
disagree
point.
with you. What would actually
Well,
be
you keep
helpful?
saying you disagree with me.
Well, what would be helpful?
Give me a reason why you disagree. Wait, why
I
do
love
you
washing
disagree?
dishes.
Why do you disagree?
What would be helpful is if you didn't mock me. All
How
right.
am I mocking you?
When
You're
you
very
try-
passive aggressive.
No, I'm being
you are.
honest with you. Okay.
No, that is you being passive aggressive, not her. What she's trying to do is she's trying to set boundaries with you. Okay.
Okay. You can believe whatever you want to.
I don't know how I ever mocked you. Go ahead. I'm trying to be super nice with you because you seem very sweet.
Then simply this. Don't try. Just do it. Don't try to be nice. Just be nice. It's the same concept about you talking. You're not trying to talk. You're talking, correct? Just do it. It's that simple.
I am. Here's the thing. I think you're projecting because
Now I'm projecting?
yeah, if I may finish.
Sure.
When this man yelled at me and I did not react in kind, you could not believe that because you could not see yourself being shouted at and maintaining your composure. Right. So when you look at me doing that.
Now you're projecting.
Okay. You are telling me that I'm not my true self because I'm feminine and because I'm sweet. Would you believe that I'm happier this way?
No,
When I was
I
a
don't
boss
think you're being
babe,
feminine. I don't. I know femininity. You're not being feminine.
I would
being-
ask
you're
the
being a
masculine.
You're being a robot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you're pretending. You're a pretender.
Okay.
Because you've been taught femininity is talking like this
You're
and
wrong.
wearing pearls.
You're
and
wrong.
saying, I am not going to do that.
You're wrong.
That's not feminine. Feminine is you know.
Femininity is supporting-
Let me get this out.
Okay.
You've had a child.
Yes.
2 children.
Yes.
That's one
You've
of the
been getting
most
a lot of
painful
stuff out all day.
experiences in life.
And beautiful.
We just came here. We're together.
Okay.
It's beautiful, but guess what? It's fierce. It's violence. It's
Yes,
pain.
yes.
There's blood.
And it's in
But
the
You
Bible.
would say that's not feminine.
I never said
Oh,
that.
I'm just gonna lay here and have this.
Didn't I
baby.
just say
Oh,
that-
I'm having a contraction. I'm fine, doctor.
I don't remember you
That's
being
what you're
there.
You're not feminine. But you said you're making. We need to focus on what is feminine. Feminine is the beginning. It's the fierceness. It's the darkness. Hold on.
I think you're
Can I
talking
get
about
this
being a
out?
feminist.
It's
Okay.
the darkness.
Only if
Can
I may respond.
You will.
Okay.
It's the darkness in the water. Life, it's not just the womb. We can look at the microcosm of the womb, the waters in the womb. And I know you're confused. That's why you're looking around. Listen to me, though. I'm here with you. I love you, or do, because I want you to know the womb is the darkness in the water. Life began in the darkness of the water. Your Bible says life began in darkness. That's the water. That's not sitting here and going. It's scary.
Please don't mock
Wait,
me.
No, I have to. It's scary.
No, you don't. You
It's
can make your
unknown.
point without
It's a
disrespecting.
scary, volatile, chaotic.
Why are you
place.
so scared?
No. I'm trying to tell you what's feminine. Oh, feminine is that.
Okay.
That is the core of femininity.
I
Femininity
disagree.
Isn't.
So, also, she's misunderstanding how the way Maggie is articulating herself. If she's articulating herself as being soft spoken, then there's nothing wrong with that. That has nothing to do with being feminine. That's just how the way she is.
I'm just gonna mute out. No, femininity is roaring. That roaring that he did.
I disagree.
That's his feminine side. That he
No,
brought
that's
out.
an emotional man
No,
having
but
an
you're not
outburst.
hearing me.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. An emotional man having an emotional outburst. But she's up here talking about that's being feminine. The hell?
My friend, the part that you're hearing when a woman is giving birth, she's yelling. She's
Absolutely. I was there.
So you equate that with masculine.
No, that's not what I said at
So
all.
Yelling isn't masculine.
Okay, I'll wait when
Wait,
you're finished.
yes, I need you to. I need you not to just listen to.
Here she go. Here she go. She's back.
Hold up. Your real voice came. Please do it again.
She's back.
Your real voice just came out and we all heard it.
I'm waiting to
No,
respond.
I've been waiting for that voice for a long time, and I finally heard you. I love you, and y'all never cuss again. 'Cause
Thank you.
I heard you. Now, I've been here trying to figure out who you was, and I heard that voice.
Okay.
Only for a quick. There I go again.
Okay, but here's the thing. I said in the very beginning, there are times
Give
when
me that voice again, please. It's so
I don't.
beautiful.
I'm sorry, I missed it. But what I'm
Because
saying,
you've been listen, you missed it because you have bottled you up.
No.
right? Listen, you bottled you up. That voice that just
Yeah,
came outside of
unfortunately,
you.
man.
That's you. Could you
how about
please
this?
let me hear it?
Have you ever
please?
gotten feedback that someone didn't like something and you
Unfortunately.
wanted to be better for that someone, and so you improved
You
yourself?
can't prove your. That's what I'm saying. Let me say something.
Okay.
You can't prove yourself. When you came in this world, you was perfect.
I
right?
disagree.
Listen, because you came in this world, you're gonna die the same way you came. Listen, nameless. No one's gonna remember you.
I
It's not-
disagree.
listen,
I have a legacy. What's yours?
I'm gonna tell you this. All right, you don't have a legacy.
You don't know that.
I'm gonna tell you how I know.
you don't know that.
Let me tell you.
I never said that. I said, what is
Let me
yours?
tell you how I can tell you, right?
Okay.
Because right now in this history, everybody watching this, they're gonna say who their grandma is. They're gonna say their great grandma is. They can't say who their great grandma is. They forget. People can't even tell you. We argue a lot about Jesus. There's only a few people that we remember. No one's gonna remember you. The only
The
thing that
internet
matters
is forever.
now.
I disagree.
Listen, no one's gonna remember you. The only thing that matters is
Maybe
now.
you don't want anybody to
No,
remember
I
you.
do. I want everybody to remember you. Listen, I want everybody to remember you. You're attached to something. You're attached to doing something that's not going to work. When you get to the,
I think it is working.
how is it going to work when no one's going to remember you?
No,
the
I
man that
disagree
you
with you.
If you die right now, he's going to go get some more pussy.
I thought you said you weren't going to swear
I say
at
if
me.
you die, if you die, pussy is not a square word.
Yeah, but do you have any
Pussy
other?
not a square word.
Do you a square word?
Vagina.
Do you have any other
Square
use
word.
of the English language?
Sex.
Yes.
Right.
Of
Listen,
course,
so
he's
if
a
you- listen,
masculine man.
No,
He's going to get
a
more
masculine.
sex.
No, a masculine man don't run around just getting sex. That's a
But you
freak
said if
man.
I die.
No, it don't matter. It don't matter because I'm gonna say this.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this to you. And I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just gonna say this.
I'm not arguing.
I'm gonna say this. Whatever happened in your first relationship, right, to where he told you, right, you talk too much, or you talk too much, or you talk back, and he made you think that you wasn't acting the way a woman should act.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that wasn't a man, because listen, a man can accept a person's opinion, a person's
That's
mind.
true.
A man can sit down and have a conversation
You're
with a
absolutely
woman.
right. We've been doing that here, and I believe that I've been very effective communicating without shouting, without swearing. I did want to take a moment because you told me I wasn't feminine, and there's a lot of men in the room.
You are feminine. You
Could I
just
please-
you too feminine.
Now it makes sense. I didn't know you were this femininity.
You too feminine. You too feminine.
Because you're not masculine.
Now she's
you
too feminine.
because,
Okay.
listen, because half the men, listen, the men out here right now. Are not
I was going to
masculine.
ask. Okay,
The
I don't know the men
out
in the
here not-
room.
no,
First time
I
hearing
said
that.
The men that you're looking at in the world, the men in the world, they're
Yeah,
not masculine. Because
Okay.
listen, they run around and they doing things. Everybody is both mixed. What I'm saying is that you're beautiful.
Yes, we agree with that. Thank you for the
Final
compliment.
point.
Everything.
Final point.
This shit over.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you both,
Yeah,
and
you're
I
nice.
appreciate having the debate.
But Jesus is the serpent in the Garden of Genesis 3.
You can believe whatever you
It's
want
not
to.
a belief. It's
Well,
actually a
he
fact.
asked me to make my final
I'm
point.
sorry, sweetheart. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you.
And she never articulated the reason why she say that Jesus is the serpent in Genesis chapter 3. She assumed it, but she never told us the reason why. So I'm kind of curious about it. Probably by the end of this on live, I'll probably go and research that and see why she's saying that dumbass shit.
I just
So-
wanted to stay in character for you. You know, the feminist, masculine lady.
You're
Go
doing
ahead.
a perfect job.
I know. I
Okay.
thought you. I knew you thought that.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. Okay, so my final thought is faith is something that we choose. We don't have all of the answers. Even the Bible says, I set before you life and death, choose. Whatever you want to choose, that's fine. I'm not here to convince you. I believe in a masculine man, a feminine woman, marriage, children, and family. I think that's the only thing that's going to keep this planet going. If you choose to believe it's a prison planet, that's fine. I see the beauty in every day, and I'm grateful for an opportunity to live and enjoy it.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for watching to the end, guys. Please comment below.
All right, so that is the end of this particular debate. Once again, shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher, man. Shout out for her sharing this content on her channel. Also shout out to her for holding her composure through this whole entire conversation. All right. Shout out to her for not allowing these weird ass people troll her and try to manipulate her to be something that she know that she's not. You know what? A matter of fact, shout out to them weird ass trolls as well too. The reason why I'm gonna shout them out is because now they have opened up the conversation on a lot of truths. Okay, because for the longest, you know, in these spaces, right, we talked about this a lot about how the way women carry themselves to be these modern day feminist women. We said it over and over again, right? But for some reason, people don't believe it. But in this particular episode that Maggie shared with us, she literally shared the truth. And the added bonus is that she shared how the way these modern men are as well too. Where you got these modern men out here and stuff, right, where they acting like some betas, they're acting like some simps.
Beta!
They're acting all these different ways. And when we talk about it, then it becomes taboo. It'll be like, no, that ain't true at all. But literally, we're seeing it in real time in this particular conversation of these type of beta males acting the way that they're acting. Where they don't have no self-control. They don't have no respect for themselves. They don't respect the divine order or anything like that. They believe that they should be equal to a woman, or they believe that the woman should lead them. They the same type of one beta males that believe that if they do be in a relationship, that the woman is the boss. Yeah, that's the boss. You know, she's the boss of the house. They believe in that dumb bullshit. So even though Maggie had hold herself accountable, I'm also glad that she went on and did this because she had exposed the truth. She really did. She really did. She really did. And we can learn a lot from this, brothers. We really can. One last thing too, before we end the stream. A lot of my brothers out there, y'all believe that it's hard to find women like Maggie. A matter of fact, many of y'all believe that these modern women, they are no hope for them whatsoever. They can't be saved. Y'all believe in, going your own way. Or some of you believe that, hey, maybe I need to get a passport and find, a woman that way. But whatever the case is, right, this particular woman, Maggie, she had demonstrated to us, brothers, that these type of women do exist out there. But the only way you're going to find these type of women is that, first of all, brothers, we have to find ourselves. We have to be in our divine place as men. We have to be about our purpose. We have to be living out our life to our fullest ability. Only then is when we end up linking up with a woman who's going to come and be that helpmeet for you, if you desire that, and help fulfill your purpose. But if you don't have no purpose out there, then you're not going to truly find these type of women that exist out there as well too. All you're going to find is these old feminist ass women out there that's going to use you and abuse you. You sleep with them, you procreate with them, you have children with them, and you wonder why your life was fucked up. So, brothers, we got a lot of work to do, and that's the reason why the Urban Lounge podcast exists over here, is because we're not just reacting to just red pill content or manosphere content. We're over here learning, and we're over here teaching as well too, because my job is to make sure that we are the better versions of ourselves as men, so we can be in our place, in our divine place. And if it's your choice to either get married or be in a relationship, then you'll have every tools possible to make sure that you are compatible with the right woman, so that woman won't fuck your life up. So other than that, brothers, appreciate you tuning in to this particular episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode as well too. Let me know what you agree about this episode. Let me know what you disagree about this episode as well too, and we can have the conversation about it. All right. Shout out to everyone who's in the building, who tuned in to this episode. Appreciate y'all thumbs up the building as well too. Thumbs up the video as well too. Also, just a little quick house stands before I end the stream. I do have my memberships open for you, brothers. That membership is solely for you. All right. That's why I don't advertise it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I make that totally your option if you want to do it. Memberships is open if you want to be a part of the lounge family, where you could get exclusive contents. Many of y'all had came over because you know me about the shorts that I put out, right? One of the perks about you being a member is that you get to view and react to the shorts before everybody else in the public get to react to it. That's one of the perks of being a member. And there are other phenomenal perks out there as well too by being a member, but the only way you're going to find out is for you to become a member of the lounge family. All right, so once again, I'm just throwing that out there just to let you know that it's available for you. I created that for you, okay, and price it at a very reasonable price for you, okay. So other than that, appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate all the comments as well too. Mars, Castle, what's up with it? Shout out to you, and shout out to everybody else who watched the stream as well too, and shout out to everybody who's catching the replay of this stream. All right, and make sure y'all have your notifications set when I go live again. All right, so y'all have a great Friday, and I will see y'all again on the next episode of the Urban Lounge podcast.